Got the cryptid tales, skeleton in a suit, MoKnowz never fails. We talk elections, UFOs and paranormal trails, fast tech, NFT, crypto sales. From comments to conspiracies, we dropping knowledge daily. Photo finish, all straight, so we keep it hype, you feel me? VeVe digital drops, market values never hazy. Stay tuned, the OG fault, the alpha here is crazy. Yes, OG Vol, welcome to the show. We got the cryptid tales, skeleton in a suit, MoKnowz never fails. We talk elections, UFOs and paranormal trails, fast tech, NFTs, catch the latest crypto sales. From comments to conspiracies, we dropping knowledge daily. Photo finish, all straight, so we keep it hype, you feel me? VeVe digital drops, market values never hazy. Stay tuned, the OG Vault, the alpha here is crazy.
Oh.
In the dark of the night, when the moon's hanging low, there's a place where the wildest of tales start to grow. Below the skeleton, with his phony grin, and Vault his co-host, let the stories begin. From the paranormal to the political scene, we dive into the unknown, if you know what I mean. Cryptocurrency madness, gaming world so vast, we're bringing you the future and echoes from the past. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Vault are your guides, let's take a dive. In the crypto secrets we unravel the law. Hold on tight, cause we've got so much more. Whispers of ghosts in the halls of the old, haunted by the memories of stories untold. Political shadows creeping in the night. Mo and Vault, we're shining the light. From the paranormal to the political scene, we dive into the unknown, if you know what I mean. Cryptocurrency madness, gaming world so vast, we're bringing you the future and echoes from the past. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Vault are your guides, let's take a dive. In the crypto secrets we unravel the law. Hold on tight, cause we've got so much more.
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. It's time for this week's Tales from the Crypto with me and the homie MoKnowz. What's up, Mo?
Yes, sir. What up, Vault? What up, chat? It's Tuesday, baby. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. We got Denny OC here already, says it's the best show on Tuesdays. Denny, did you know there's a new show on Tuesday? VeVe now goes live every Tuesday. If you haven't seen their live stream that just happened a couple hours ago, they played some new footage from the VeVeverse. I've got it clipped here, and we'll take a look at it when we get to the crypto section. And then also Dr. Stuff has a Tuesday show now, so be careful, man.
We're still the best.
Mo said it himself. Shout out to Big A's in the chat. Let's go. What's up, Big A? Thanks for hanging out with us. We got some cool stuff to talk about. We got my homie Woody here. We're going to get into some politics. Luckily, hopefully Woody stays around because he's on my side when it comes to politics. You don't get that a lot in my chat. What's up, Loud Potato? Good to see you in the chat. I haven't seen you around a whole lot lately. We got the Moonboy Shakester in the house. Is it hard to call you Moonboy Shakester? It's okay to be a Moonboy. We like Moonboys too. We just don't like particular Moon Boys. All right, we got some cool stuff to talk about.
Moon Boy without Mo, you know what I'm saying? So.
That's true. Yeah, and I think he has a background, a Moon Boy background. He used to, Mo does, if I'm not mistaken. All right, y'all, we got some cool stuff to talk about. We've got paranormal stuff to talk about. If you have been watching Twitter or even the news, most likely, then you saw the UFO hearings they recently had in Congress. There it is. Told you he's a Moon Boy, y'all. We had some hearings in Congress, and a lot of people are saying that Congress says UFOs are real, but we've had a lot of hearings like that in the past before too, so take it with a grain of salt. The people that were testifying are already known in the UF community as believers, but they also are people who used to hold really high positions, like the Alizano guy. He used to be in charge of researching UFOs for the Air Force, and now he's out in Congress telling people that UFOs do exist. So I want to show you guys a particular clip, just a quick little clip from that hearing, because I don't want to get into the whole entire hearing. It gets kind of boring. However, I do got some new video footage that came out after that hearing. Some people said it was released by the government. I can't verify. I didn't have enough time to go through and verify what all is real and what's not real, but it's a UFO video, so nobody's going to believe it if they don't believe in UFOs anyway, and if they do believe in UFOs, they're probably going to believe it. So we're going to look at
it's still cool.
Yeah, and it's still, and even the ones that, and we'll even talk about the ones where I don't think it's an alien, but I can't figure out what it is. Maybe you guys can help me figure it out. Maybe Mo knows what it is. Shout out to Wops here. What's up, Wop? Chilling and grilling. Let's go, man. My grill fell over during the storm last time, and I can't put it. I gotta buy a new grill. It's messed up. We got Mr. C Spill in the house. OG here with us. We're gonna talk a little bit of VeVe2 C Spill around the end of the show. I'm only a moon boy for Po Amigo. Don't do me like that. What's Po Amigo? Is that a NFT project? With all the alien talk, would be a good time to drop an alien themed meme coin. Big A, I hope you know about Blue, right? We're going to talk about Blue. I live streamed the launch of Blue with...
he knows about Blue. It almost blew me out the freaking water at my entry point.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was streaming last night, hanging out, and Big A was in there, and he was like, hey, see this coin? I'm like, 8 out of 10 coins you give me put me in the poorhouse. So I was just kind of tracking it. I just never really saw a good buy point. And thank God, because, man, that thing went off a cliff. Now, it did battle back. I did find a good entry point. And I think I'm actually doing pretty well.
That's the BLU coin? Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Man.
Up 16% right now, the one on base, right?
Yep, good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I got into it during the launch because we were live streaming the launch, and then it turned into a honeypot right after the launch. Like, they messed up on the contract. We could talk about it when we get to the crypto section, but they messed up on the contract, and nobody could sell for like the first, I don't know, an hour, and I was live the whole entire time. And then 10 minutes after I ended the stream, they fixed the contract. And a lot of people were skeptical that was going to happen. They thought it was a honeypot. But once they fixed the contract, I was able to get out with a very small profit and then buy back in at like $1 million market cap. And I think it's up to like $3 million now. So far, so good. Shout out to Denny OC. Says, I'm allowed my opinion, change my mind. Best show on TV. We're going to try to keep you believing that we're the best show, but we got some stiff competition now. Let's go. Big A about another 1K at the dip. Man, Big A is always doing it big. Whether it's VeVe or meme coins, I mean, it seems like he's always getting W's. What's up, Alejandro? Good to see you in the chat. Alejandro, we're about to start off with some UFO footage. The first thing I'm going to play has some sound to it. I won't be able to hear it, but y'all will. But it is footage from the hearing that they had in Congress, and I thought this was a pretty interesting question and reply by the people that were testifying. So here we go.
Any part of the federal government is knowingly concealing evidence about UAPs from the public.
Yes, sir.
100%.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. I also want to just go down the line. I know many of you have already said this, but just for the record again, just briefly, what do you believe UAPs could be or are?
Strong evidence that they are non-human, higher intelligence.
I echo my colleague's comment, sir. Genuinely do not know.
Don't know, but we must find out. Okay.
Genuinely.
Yeah, so basically they were asking, what do you think these UFOs are or could be? And I think the first two people said they were non-human, and then the third and fourth both were like, I don't know. So I don't know, man. So was that convincing to you?
We're on the payroll.
The what payroll? The UFOs payroll? The aliens payroll or NASA's payroll?
Well, both. Maybe one's on the government payroll, and then maybe the other ones got sort of a contract probed up their ass.
That Nancy Grace lady was talking about how aliens have infiltrated our government and all this other stuff. So like, some of those Congress people are in deep and they believe it hardcore, and they might have seen some evidence that we haven't seen. What's up?
Crazy. You got the lizard people, man. It's all sorts of crazy shit going on.
I know, we've talked about the lizard people on this channel before, and some of the footage, some of the evidence is compelling. What's up, Irene? Good to see you in the chat. Alon selling us out to the aliens. I mean, he might be one of them. He might be the alien. He might be Papa Alien. All right. So I do have some UFO.
That would be the ultimate troll, by the way.
What's that?
If he builds the whole, mission to Mars, and the people that get there on the first expedition, they roll up and they just realize it's a trap. It's like, it's a trap! And it's just like a fucking conveyor belt that's just like sucking humans into like the center of Mars and shit. It was like they come like slaves to the Mars mission or something. Oh, bro, it'd be crazy. That would actually be funny. I would want to see that.
That would be kind of funny, honestly. Or he might be just trying to build a rocket ship to get home or something. That's why he's so interested in building rockets. He wants to out of this place. All right, so we do have some new UFO footage. I'm pretty much trying to do these from not as convincing to the very end when you get the most convincing, the ones that I thought were the craziest. But this first one just came out of, I think it was World News. And World News is kind of known for having some weird, shady, easily disprovable videos. But on this one, either it's really good editing or it's real. So let's check it out. It's this UFO that actually like shoots some type of missile that it takes off down the sky. It's pretty close footage. See, I don't know what that missile
That looks
is.
like the UFO from Batteries Not Included.
Oh yeah, that's like an 80s movie, ain't it?
Yeah. That.
The thing about that that one at the very end, and I'll play it again one more time if it plays.
What was it, farting? The hell was that?
Some gas came out for sure. But no, at the very end,
Some
he like
alien burrito or something couldn't hold it.
takes off down the sky and he goes behind a cloud. But it doesn't make sense that he would go behind that cloud unless it was editing trick. So I don't know. That, like I said, that's not the most convincing one. That's one that just recently came out. A lot of people are talking about on social media. Diddy says he don't think Elon's a lizard man, but he's definitely not from this planet. I think you might be onto something. We got Abdullah in the chat. Let's go. What's up, Abdullah? Abdullah, I think you won the game this weekend, so send me your ETH address when you get a chance so I can send you over your prize, which is a VeVe or a Kid Arcade NFT. All right, so this one's been getting a lot of talk recently on social media, and it's supposedly a type of organic UFO or an organic alien. That report they talked about in the congressional hearing a lot was called Immaculate Constellation, and it talks about a type of UAP that is organic and resembles a jellyfish. So this one in particular was shot over, it looks like a military base. I don't think I did get the location for this, but it's over 3.5 minutes long. So the first thing when I look at it, I think maybe it's a group of balloons tied together flying over. But if it's 3.5 minutes long, then you would go up or down. It wouldn't just keep going on the same level. What do you think, Mo?
This looks like the third mission from Metal Gear Solid 2.
Okay. I don't think I played
this is it's a little weird. I'm trying to look more like
that second video there, the
around
one
the
in
edges
color, is
for-
just a similar thing that somebody filmed. I've seen a few. They were never really that convincing to me, but this latest one, a lot of people are talking about it like it should be convincing to me, and I guess that's because the Immaculate Constellation report talks about an organic UFO or alien resembling a jellyfish with rigid appendages hanging downwards. That's kind of what it looks like in that video. So I mean, I don't know. Let me know.
I just feel like with all the cameras and everything we have in the world now, these things would be way more tracked. And I think if it was like some sort of like Chinese spy program, it would be more like the birds or the Korea. Remember the bird stuff we covered?
Oh yes, yeah.
It would be more like that. You know what I mean? Like
Definitely.
they would put some effort into it, and those things are actually believable. Like those things are crazy, right?
Yep.
That would make it more believable. But like, hey, let's just make a UFO that looks like a UFO, a traditional UFO that people think.
Right.
So I don't know. It's I never know what to make of that stuff, but I hope it's real.
Yeah, it's just interesting
real.
that they're talking about like something organic just floating like, I don't know, less than a mile off of the ground over Earth. That's kind of scary. Danielle sees
Like, I
this.
can't think of anything better than if I'm gonna die and I'm gonna go out. That if I'm just laying in bed one night and like the roof blows off and like a traction beam starts sucking me off. You know what I mean? Like that would be a hell of a way to go. Get sucked off by the aliens.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's what they do, but I thought they probed, but you might be right. Sounds
Well,
like
first
a
they suck
fun
you
night.
up, they suck you up, and then they probe you.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a fun weekend. Denny says that was an awesome
It's like a
movie.
typical Tuesday for me,
What movie are you talking about, Danielle? See, I must have missed it when somebody mentioned a movie. It's into that where the aliens could control electrical appliances to attract people, Mo? Oh, the old movie you were talking about?
Oh yeah, batteries not included, dude. Yeah. That
sounds
movie was
familiar.
So sick.
I probably saw it.
Had the old folks, the slow black guy. But it's just such a really cool movie.
I'm more of a Flight of the Navigator
Wholesome
guy.
80s movie, you know.
I liked Flight of the Navigator. That was my jam. It actually came up on.
A similar vibe. It's
oh,
a
really?
similar vibe of movie, yeah.
Nice. Daniel C says it looks like a droid from Star Wars. Hopefully it's that secret rare droid, and it becomes famous and somebody buys my NFT because it's still sitting on the floor. Sandbox says, knowing how Elon treats his employees, when Elon establishes a colony on Mars, anyone who goes there will be working 24/7, 365, and you can't quit. Yeah, no quitting when you're on Mars. They can't ship you back. I don't know. He'll come up with a way to ship people that he's fired back.
Crazy idea.
It's kind of crazy the stuff going on with Elon and Trump right now because he's like hanging out at Mar-a-Lago 24/7, and we'll get into that when we get into the politics. But let's check out a few more UFO videos. Like I said, I saved the best for last. All right, this one was filmed over a military base, a U.S. military base in Afghanistan, and supposedly it was released by the military, but I haven't been able to confirm it myself. So this video is actually over 10.5 minutes long, and it's these 4 orbs that appear over this base in Afghanistan. And if you watch, they're going to zoom in here a second, and it looks like the orbs are dripping some kind of weird thing, and then they shoot one with a missile, which you'll also see. They shoot it with a missile, and you'll see what happens. I mean, if it's not a UFO, okay, that's fine, but what the heck is it, if that's not what that is the real question. So here in a second, you're going to see a missile come up and shoot one of them, and there's kind of like an explosion, so it's like something happened. I don't think this has sound. No, good. But it's hard to...
we get like gasoline or something? What? Or some sort of...
Here it says the top right of the screen will show some kind of
All right.
artillery or missile. Boom. But then they're still there. And I don't even really know what that is. I was thinking...
Is that like a ripped in time? What the hell is that, man?
I don't know. We'll see.
That was crazy.
What I was thinking is that maybe it's some like oil fields that are far away and there's like fog so you can't see the towers, but...
What the hell did the missile hit and what
Yeah.
exploded? And why are they still standing?
Yeah, I have no idea. That's why I thought this one was pretty trippy.
Huh.
Yeah. And like I said, it's over 10 minutes long, so it's not like some balloons or something that would have fell to the ground. It would eventually, I don't know what they are. I thought it was pretty interesting. All right, the next
Yeah,
one's
I
really
thought it
good.
might have been like a roving nomad group of balloons.
Right.
Like remember like Jinping's Chinese balloon that escaped?
Yep.
I thought it was like 4 of those. They're just kind of like wandering around and like, yo, I gotta take a piss.
Yeah,
you
maybe
know?
they have some type of fuel and that's what they're leaking, but they wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. But like I said, it's
But what
not.
did the missile hit? That's the question.
Yeah, true. I mean, you saw the explosion when the missile hit. Like something happened, but then they were still there afterwards, which I can't think of any object. Maybe it wasn't a missile. What happened then? I don't know. But this next one's really good too. This one, and I can't figure out where it was at. I didn't have enough time to research it, but it was on a morning news broadcast. And you know how when you're watching the morning news, your local news, they'll show a skyline of your town, especially if you live in a big city. Probably happens all the time in New York, Mo. And in this case,
When I watched The View.
in this case, when they show the skyline, I mean, I don't know what they're looking at. Maybe you can figure it out here. And you'll hear this one's got sound. You hear them reacting to it.
Are those fireworks? What is that?
Fireworks or something.
Aliens? I don't know.
What the heck
Where
is
is that? You see it, right?
I'm actually, yes,
Okay.
I do see it.
Okay.
It's getting weirder by the second.
I
Rolling
know.
pumpkins, look at that.
Sticking around.
We're gonna do some
Anybody?
Angry bats.
digging and figure out what that
I
is.
don't know what
Back
it
in a
is.
moment.
Some type
What's
of
going on
birds.
there?
What do you think that was?
Well, where is this?
I couldn't figure
Fox
out.
6.
Fox 6, yeah.
I don't know where Fox 6 is.
Maybe you can find it if you Google. I could try to Google it.
Well, I'm just wondering because it could be if it's like central, could be like the birds, you know,
Milwaukee.
migrating north to south.
Milwaukee.
Winter.
It's in Milwaukee.
That's more north, right?
Yep.
My U.S. geography is absolute trash. I know where New York, California, Florida, and Texas are. Outside of that, yeah, good luck.
Dang. City slicker.
Yeah, pretty much. Made it to you all right, although I had help.
I was kind of wondering what you thought about the landscape since you've been in New York all your life, going out to the Midwest. Did it
No,
seem
I loved it, bro. I
Oh,
loved
yeah?
these. I love where you're at, bro. Like that. You gotta remember, dude. I'm from Long Island. Like I'm not from the city, so.
I don't know much of the difference, but I mean, I do now that
Well-
you've explained it to me a little.
So the way it worked, right? So Manhattan was, industrialized and everything, right?
Right.
They made their way slowly out from starting at the city out to the, towards the ocean on Long Island.
Right.
When it started, it was only like half the island was built on. The entire South Shore or area that I lived in was all like farmland and stuff.
Farmland?
Oh, it wasn't even developed. A lot of
Oh.
it still is farmland.
Oh, wow. I didn't know
Yeah,
it was that
that's
big.
that's why they did the Warden Cliff, everything out there. It was very just underdeveloped land. Again, there wasn't even a road that ran that far out. So, but they built it slowly as time went on. But
I didn't know the history of Long Island like that. I remember seeing the history of New York itself, but that's just like that middle part and how it grew from the beginning was really actually pretty interesting. But DLC has a good theory here. Drone show. It seems more like an animal to me, but I don't know what animal.
drones supposed to be lighting up. Like,
Yeah,
why
that's
the
what
hell
I'm
would you
saying.
have dark drones flying around?
Yeah. I don't know.
Right?
So, yep. So like I said, you guys make of it what you will. I got one more for you, and this was my favorite one. This one's gonna start off, and it's got some sound to it too. I'm pretty sure. Some kid or some teenager, some guy, I don't know. I didn't ask his age. Is using his laser pointer to like mess with UFOs, and as it starts, the video starts, he's talking about what he just did, which you won't be able to see because he wasn't filming at the time. But as he's talking about it, another UFO flies over, and he tries to laser it or like connect with the laser. And after a second, the UFO actually flashes back a green collar and then starts following his laser. So, I mean, maybe it's edited, maybe I'm missing something. You guys can let me know what you think. Here we go.
Started here, and then he flew and curved down this way. Oh, here's another one right here. You see him? Flying right over our heads. Pointing it right at him. And now he's turning.
Ooh,
Yeah.
flashed.
Yeah, you see him?
Yeah, it just flashed.
I'm lasering or at him, and he's curving.
Like some ET phone home type shit.
I don't know. It seems like the UFO was seeing the laser and following it wherever he put it. And it kind of looked like to me, when I first saw it with the blown up video, that it was a green light that the UFO flashed back, which was pretty trippy as well.
Yeah, it was like a locking mechanism or something. That was weird. I'd have to watch that more in high def on my end instead of through the stream, because I try to look at, again, I fuck around in After Effects a lot. you
Right.
know.
And I know people have a
I
lot
know, like,
better
a lot of
editing
tricks.
skills these days. Yeah.
Yeah, I just know a lot of the tricks and the way you can just kind of like layer things and filter things to, give it a certain, look or whatever. But I don't know. When the camera shook, it kind of shook with it. I mean, you could also simulate that if you're smart enough.
Yeah, that's what a lot of
it's-
people talk about whenever they see videos that they think are edited. It's all about the camera shake. Are they gonna, if they're actually editing it, then they have to emulate that camera shake as well, which could be really hard to do.
Oh, super hard to do, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Gus Halls in the chat. Let's go. And just like Mo said, if you want to see those videos up close or anything, everything is linked down in the description. Each one of those videos, so you can check them out for yourself. Link down below. C-Spell says it's probably just Alf. I mean, Alf's an alien too, so that confirms everything. That's who it is. It probably is Alf's cousin.
I like cats. I'm from Melmac.
Mo
Yeah,
knows.
I can't. I just remember the freaking planet he was from, dude. I haven't watched that show in like 30
I can't
years.
either.
Holy
As soon as you
shit,
said
he's
it, though,
from-
that
it
was
is
right.
Melmac, right?
Yeah, Melmac, 100%.
Oh man, that's hilarious, bro.
Shout out to Didio C says it looks like a cat chasing one of those laser pins. Yeah, but it's a UFO chasing the laser pin. I wonder if something that high could even see the laser. Kind of feel like it could. El Presidente approved World War III, says Gus Hall. Yeah, I see what's going on with that. I don't think we can talk about when we get to politics, but let's go ahead and move on to the sports. Actually, there's one more thing I want to show you in paranormal. I think I mentioned this to Mo in our DMs. This doesn't have anything to do with UFOs, but I thought it was crazy. I wanted to show it before I forget about it. So apparently what had happened was there was in North Carolina when they had Hurricane Helene, they had a lot of damage, a lot of wind, and apparently there was this Bible that was found wrapped around a pole. And here they've already encased it.
Alright,
You'll see they found it like that, wrapped around a pole. And the crazy part about it is that the book was opened up to Revelations 14 and 15. So somebody who found this told somebody else about it. Then people were so amazed by it that they went and encased it and everything. So I don't know if that counts as being paranormal, or Mo, how's that make you feel?
I don't know the Bible verse. Is that like predicting a flood or some sort of catastrophic event?
Do I look like somebody who knows that Bible verse? No, it's not a Bible verse. I think it's 2 chapters, Revelation 14 and Revelation 15, because Revelations are very short. So it makes sense that, you know, one might be on one page and one be on the other page. But what do Revelations 14 and 15 in particular talk about? I don't know. But I know Revelations in general talks about like the destruction of the earth.
Yeah, I mean, that would be something. But then again, you could also be like, well, we live on a coastal, you know, we live in a coastal area. It's probably going to happen one day. Let me just play the odds.
True.
And set it to that page, you know?
Right, and I don't even know that it necessarily really was to that page. I mean, this is a Twitter post or a TikTok video, so that doesn't have a whole lot of weight. I don't hear the news talking about it, but is it significant enough that it would even appear in the news? I don't know. All right, let's move on to the next.
Probably not, but it should, because stuff like that's cool.
I mean, that seems pretty cool to me, and I'm not even a religious person. If it really is set to Revelation 14 and 15, that would be wild. Absolutely wild. Danielle C. getting ahead of herself with the politics real quick says, heard Biden, Prime Minister of Canada, Mr. Justin Trudeau, got lost at the last summit, missed the family picture. They were just in the back smoking a doobie. That's what I heard.
They weren't invited.
All right, for sports, we're going to talk about the fight one more time, the Tyson-Paul fight. I want to see what Mo thought about it. I want to see what the chat thought about it. What do you think about the super hyped fight?
First of all, you remember us sitting here last week and we're like, yo, he might just throw it, right? Like, he might just take the payday and throw it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even believe it when we were saying, I'm like, nah, that this is Tyson, right? But I made the Tyson, you know, voice, and I said it. Bro, watching that fight, when he came out, I think it was round 3, right, and started doing a little foot shuffle.
Right.
And he was gassed in like 3 seconds, and I'm like, oh, dude. I'm like, this is a wrap. Now, going into it, earlier on, I was on the phone with somebody, and I was like, man, I was like, the odds is to put the money on Paul and go to distance, win by decision, right? It was paying pretty good. I was going to put $100 on it, but I could not bring myself to bet against like one of my childhood icons. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I loved Mike Tyson growing up, dude. Like, yeah, man, I couldn't bring myself to bet against him.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
We talked about it. We called it.
Yeah.
But how sick it would it have been when he bowed at the end if he would have went straight up Tyson and just fucking decked him?
I heard a lot of people say that. I think that'd be messed up.
Oh, dude, if he would have just decked him, it would have been the most legendary, dickheaded move from Tyson of all time, bro.
DLC says it was a light sparring match. Yeah, I didn't see a whole lot of power hits. Woody agrees with you,
What did you
Bo.
think of it, man? I mean, you watched the whole thing? You were...
Man, bro. It was supposed to start at 8, and I didn't watch the first 2 fights. My kid had his friend over. They watched the whole entire thing. By midnight, then the Logan Paul Mike Tyson fight finally started. So I was already like, what the heck? Because, I mean, I did watch the ladies that fought before that. We could talk about that crazy fight, too.
Well, that's interesting, yeah, but go ahead, finish. But I do want to talk about that, though.
Yeah, and then as soon as the fight started, round 1, they're getting ready to ring the bell, and then buffering, had to back out, go back in, buffering. By the time I got it back up, it was round 3. So I missed the whole first 2 rounds. I went back and watched some highlights, and then, I mean, there was a lot of buffering in between. And then at the end, I didn't get to see who got their hand raised, although I knew it was Jake Paul who won because of buffering. I mean, it was so annoying. So the highlight was just seeing Mike Tyson's butt cheeks, I guess. Did you see that part?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how that happened. Like, who's the cameraman? You gotta know better. But yeah, for the fight, see, my kid is convinced that it was rigged. And I do have this TikTok video that I made a graphic out of. I could show you guys. It's got a little bit of sound with it for somebody who's trying to make the case that it was rigged. So let me show you that real quick, and then we'll ask if you think it was rigged. Here we go.
This fight was most definitely rigged. Here's some evidence you might have missed. Tyson was doing fantastic at the beginning. landing some big shots and knocking Jake around the ring. But that changed
Paul
when
said it
Paul
himself. There was
clenched
a
Tyson.
time, it was
It's alleged he
round
whispered
5?
into Tyson's ear to
Where he said he could have,
and the message was
he could have knocked
confirmed
him out, but
received
he
by
chose not
Tyson
to.
with the
And I believe
affirming
him.
tap on the back. After that moment,
I kind of believe him
Tyson
too,
became a
just
stick
based
in the
on
mud.
a lot of things that happened in
Standing
that
directly
fight.
in front of Paul with no
It's not like
more
Tyson was knocking
aggressiveness
him
to
around, and
Like
then
here, for
Paul got a
instance,
lucky shot
Tyson
and
can
stunned
see the
Tyson.
right hand
You know what I
plain
mean?
as day and makes no
I mean,
attempt to
Tyson
slip.
only threw,
My
like,
next
what,
reason is Tyson was
When
definitely
you do some
pulling his
shit like that was
punches.
weird.
Tyson looked as
Yeah,
if
like
he was
landed like
struggling to
19,
hold back
Was
and
Landon,
not
yeah,
throw
it was
punches
a weird
at Paul.
number.
Here's a perfect example.
Or no, I think he like
Tyson
threw, I
deflected.
think he threw less than what Paul landed. It was I was looking at the numbers and I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Yep. I wish I would have seen the first 2 rounds as they were happening live, because apparently he was actually making some good moves. But this guy makes a lot of good points about him biting his gloves and the time where they get together, and it almost looks like Jake Paul is whispering something in his ear. I have a hard time believing that Mike Tyson would throw a fight, but then again, you give him $20 million. Maybe that was part of the deal for him to get the $20 million in the first place. I would do almost anything for $20 million. I mean, I'll throw a fight all day.
So the money's huge, right? But
Right.
here's the bigger picture. And listen, if this is the case, I could potentially get on board with this. I forgot where I heard it, but somebody said it. Because Paul talked about it, Tyson talked about it. They were talking about the 2 women that fought, which, by the way, was an insane fucking fight. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Now, when you have like the southpaw going up against like a traditional fighter like that, and you get like that bobbing and weaving. I think that's why she gets those headbutts a lot of times. It doesn't really. She might be doing something intentionally, honestly, but I think she knows that based on the southpaw versus a regular stance, it kind of just is bound to happen. I have a buddy of mine that actually fights lefty, and we used to talk about this all the time. He would tell me you have to watch, where you position your head differently, and but here's the deal: the way that they talked about it and trying to like almost take the attention off of them and bring it to the ladies, right?
Right.
I actually felt like if they were doing that just to promote what 2 real women getting in the ring and beating the absolute shit out of each other could look like and be entertaining, if they want to like try to push that level of the sport further, I'll get on board with that and say, you know what? Throw the fight and bring attention to those 2, because they had a really big stage to fight on, and that could do a lot for women's fighting, honestly. Like that was massive, especially after all the bullshit we've had, with the Olympics and then the UN report,
Right, yeah. And especially as the second main event, that's pretty big right up there with Tyson and Jake Paul, just kind of legitimizes women boxing. And it was such a good fight. They knew that those 2 were going to throw down. Of course, Pokey don't want to hear about it. Doesn't care at all about ladies boxing. I didn't either until I was watching that fight, though, because I know it taught me something about myself. I'm not as hard as I thought, because in the 3rd round, I was like, come on, stop the fight. Her eyebrow's about to fall off. Can we please stop the fight? And they just kept on going like another 4 or 5 rounds. And I'm sitting there on round 3 saying, make it end, please. I can't watch this. It was pretty brutal. But I thought she got robbed, too. I thought the girl with the messed up eyebrow got robbed, that she won the fight. She landed a lot more punches than the headbutter.
Yeah, I mean, they were just going based on the physical damage. But they got to go and say, she got was it a point deducted or whatever for the excessive headbutts and shit? So I don't know, but I thought it was a good fight. And like I said, man, if that whole event was to promote that part of the sport and not so much those 2 and it's just an exhibition,
right?
Probably shouldn't have sold it that way. But the fact that the slap the day before the fight was way better than the actual fight.
That's pretty sad.
That slap was hard, dude. Did you see that shit?
Yeah, I definitely saw it, but
wow, that was the
I was
ripple,
hoping
man.
for
That was a
more
crazy slap.
Sandbox says, is $20 million just peanuts for someone like Tyson? I want to say I don't think so. Yeah, didn't he buy like tigers and stuff? He spent his money he spent it pretty fast. I mean, he's got a nice podcast that's pretty popular, but it ain't $20 million at popular. I mean, I would do it. I mean, I'm assuming that the money had a lot to do with it. $20 million is probably not peanuts for even Mike Tyson. The second undercard fight was pretty good, says Denny OC. I didn't see that one. I did start to watch the guys that fought before the girls, and then I saw at the end where it ended in a draw, and I was starting to get into it because I only watched the last 3 or 4 rounds. But any sport that can end in a draw, including soccer, I have a problem with. Like, no draws, just overtime until it's over, like they do in basketball. You play for the rest of the week if you have to. Somebody's got to win. Irene says this is all laid up to Paul versus Paul. That's what Irene said last week as well. But at the very end of the fight, whenever they were talking, Logan Paul started talking some trash to Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson handed around like he wanted to fight Logan Paul next. Would that even be worth watching, Mo? Would you be excited about that? Would you care about it? Would you watch it if Tyson said he's fighting Logan Paul?
No. And real quick though, for anybody that thinks that maybe the 20 mil is not a lot, so just to give you a little bit example here, comparison, going into that fight, his net worth was 10 mil.
Oh, really?
Back in his heyday, Tyson's net worth was over 400 million.
Wow.
So for someone like him at his age to go from 400 mil down to a net worth of 10 mil, when you can even take inflation into account, it should be worth a lot more if he was investing correctly. It sounds more like an MC Hammer operation. And, you know, that 20 mil probably would throw the fight now. And I look at that net worth, I wish I would have seen this before our show last week. Because you know what? I definitely think he would have thrown the fight based on those numbers.
If he's, tripling his net worth, then yeah. CSPO says the girl who lost won in every category. I know, it makes no sense to me that they said it's Texas, so shady stuff happens in Texas. Daniel C says he stepped on Tyson's toes. Yeah, that's whenever the smack happened. Tyson said he stepped on his toe when he was like crawling up to him, so that's why he smacked him. C-Spill says, how did she lose that match? I know. It makes no sense. The crowd was booing, too. Had me thinking Tyson was going to win after seeing that decision. After seeing, well, I hear what you're saying, whenever the decision came. But after seeing Tyson's, his warm-ups and training, and seeing how fast and agile he was. I mean, he's been training for over 6 months. I really don't see him getting winded that fast in 2-minute rounds. I kind of feel like it was rigged. I mean, I don't want to say it's rigged. I don't have any proof, but I feel like he would have performed better if it wasn't. But then again, he's 58. I know. Woody says Tyson had a $100 million fight in 2002, and in 2003 he filed for bankruptcy, in debt $23 mil. How do you spend $100 million in 1 year? I don't even think I could. Maybe he bought Omi. I don't know. DLC said that's the fight. Draw was BS, but was definitely very close. I agree it was probably very close because at the end it was close, and I just don't like the idea of draws. I thought both of those fighters were really good too. Saw on social media it might be Paul versus Tate next. I saw that somewhere too. After Tate's trial, he said he wants to fight Logan Paul next. I hope so, because I don't like either one. So seeing one of them get beat up either way, that's a win-win. It's a win-win for me. All right, let's move on to the next topic. We're going to be talking a little bit of politics. We know, unfortunately, that Donald Trump is now the president, fortunately for some people. And if you haven't heard, he's been making his cabinet picks lately. He's picked Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to be for health, Department of Health, which he promised to do during the campaign. Really surprising one to me was Matt Gaetz being appointed Attorney General.
You and me both.
Man, we could talk about that.
Not a fan of his.
And then Mo's girl, Tulsi Gabbard, is going to be in the cabinet as well. There's Pete Hegseth, who is...
She's probably like the intelligence or something? Doing the intelligence,
national intelligence,
yeah. Let's go, baby. Damn, she's so good, man. That's our next president right there.
A lot of people are saying that she's connected with Russia. I mean, I don't know what the proof is, but it seems to be a lot of people that believe that. And if she was, and they put her in charge of intelligence, that's like the worst person to put in charge of intelligence. But
I would need to see something on that, but I mean...
Yeah, I haven't seen anything.
He just looks like a fucking American-loving citizen who fought for our country, seen it all on the lines firsthand. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It is what it is, man. I love her.
And then Hegseth is a guy who's on a Fox News show that comes on the weekends. Yeah, he has been appointed to Trump's cabinets for some reason. Then, of course, you got Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. They're going to be in the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, a new department headed up by 2 people, which doesn't seem very efficient. And it's named after their crypto Doge. Do you think they did that to pump the crypto, or like what's that all about, Mo?
Yeah, of course. And I did pump a little bit, but it came back down. Everything's correcting right now. I think it actually ran before they even announced, so it was running for quite some time. I know because I missed a boat many times on my alerts. But
I'd still like to get in
Doge. I mean, the thing about the efficiency though, man, like, people, 2 people for 1 position, but like, they're going to eliminate so much wasteful spending that it's going to be well worth it, especially for that. And they're not even taking salary, so they're doing it for free. But don't get it twisted, because they did say they're going to have outside sources and outside help, right?
Right.
They may or may not do it for free, they said. So if it's someone that's cool with Elon and they're like, hey, we really believe in the cause, we want to get involved, they might just do a pro bono and, help them out. But it might cost some money in other aspects. But either way, man, I just think it's great. I just think let's just get to the bottom of this shit, man.
I mean, I need some particulars. Where are they getting to the bottom of? I know that Robert F. Kennedy...
Top to the bottom.
I mean, okay, but
bro, like even Trump's story, which checked out about the whole Air Force One the first time around, if he saved $3 billion to Boeing because he refuses to pay it, he's like, I'm not paying that because Obama signed that fucking deal. Get out of here, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he wasn't paying it, and he gets $3 billion back on that alone.
Right.
Think about what he's gonna do for the rest of our deficit. You know what I mean? Like, bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's where everything. That's his biggest asset to us. A lot of things that you don't like about him, I agree with, right?
Right.
But his biggest asset is things like that. You know what I mean? You save $3 billion to Boeing because they just want to rip us off because they think they can. Because the previous administration wanted to pay it because they probably had some backdoor fucking profits out of it.
Maybe. If that's a true story, then yeah, that's the type of efficiency that the government needs to work on. So that's a good thing. But I don't necessarily know how true that story is, and I don't know the specifics of what they're trying to do. Some of the specifics of what
Apparently
Robert
checked out.
What's that?
Apparently that did check out.
Oh.
So.
Okay. I have to look it up. I'll just try to do some research on it. RFK is wanting to take fluoride out of water, and he's also, he's pretty much saying he thinks that all vaccines are bad, which is wild to me because obviously stuff like polio and rubella no longer exists because of vaccines. But he's saying that vaccines haven't been tested well enough, which is maybe a good point. However, a lot of the stuff he wants to do with food is probably a good idea, but it's also definitely going to raise prices. The whole point of these companies that use these additives or whatever for their food, the ones that he wants to get rid of, is so that they can make more for cheaper and so that they can sell it cheaper. So it's
killing us.
Yeah, it's not a good thing, but we're worried about prices too. But what are we going to do about prices if pretty much these are regulations that he wants to put on companies, which they're supposed to be the party that hates regulations. These are going to be a lot of regulations, but it's going to make stuff a lot more expensive. So it's stuff being expensive already, and then you're going to get rid of all the immigrants. You're going to deport all the immigrants, which are picking all the fruit and vegetables down south. Now that's going to be more expensive because the companies there have to pay Americans to do it, so they have to pay at least minimum wage. Are we going to be able to afford food? Do I need to start gardening? Are you worried about any of this?
In a doomsday scenario, potentially, but I feel like if everything else that we talk about, whether it be, again, saving money from Boeing or any other company, or for, incentivizing companies to stay in the United States where they can get tax breaks and, cut the cost of fuel back and forth where shipments don't cost as much across the country, I don't know. I think it could work. I think it very well could make it easier on our pockets, but maybe not exactly bring the cost of everything back to the way it used to be. But I think there could be a way where it does feel easier on our pockets,
It feels like Reagan all over to me. Reagan was like, trickle down economics. This is how trickle down economics works. We're going to give all the money to the rich people, and it's going to trickle down to you. And everybody's like, it could work. It could work. So now they're saying, all right, now we're going to regulate everything and get rid of all the illegals, and don't worry, prices won't go down. It could work. I don't know. It seems to me like we're all going to suffer because of this. But we're going to find out over the next 4 years. Let's see what the chat believes.
I don't know. A lot of people just thought we went too far. And like I said, I was feeling it for years, man. I really was. And I really thought I was losing my mind at some point. I'm like, am I just really that out of touch? And then I see it. And then I see the Democrats just backtracking like 90% shit. I think things that they swore they believed in, even a month ago. It's like, well, maybe we really should be introspective here and figure out what our party is all about. And I told my girl this shit a long time ago, because I think we talked about this too, right? So early days of the political stuff, you had the Federalists, and then it was the Democratic Republican Party. They were combined, right?
Yep.
But then their ideals, they kind of went so far apart that they were like, well, now we're just going to split, and they basically phased out the Federalist Party, right?
Right.
So when that happened, I was telling my girl this 6-8 years ago. I was like, I just feel like we're on the shift of some like weird culture change of like someone like Kennedy actually being able to win, either as an independent or as a whole new party. And I think it was what's his face, the guy from Cali. It's the Forward Party.
Gavin Newsom.
No. It's the tech guy. I can't think of his name right now. But he was Andrew Wang, the computer associates dude, right?
Yang?
CA.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he started like the whole Forward Party, right? And like
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, maybe it takes something where it's like a whole new ideology and like a way of thinking, not that weird progressive shit that we've been seeing, but something different. Again, something more aligned with like RFK Jr. So I don't know, man. That's why I think, you say Republicans don't like regulations. Obviously, I agree. But that's why I think someone like RFK Jr., who's not a Republican, coming over and combining forces with a guy like Trump, who's not really a politician, I just think it's great, man. And I just think we're probably going to be better off, and I hope we're going to be better off. But catch up on chat.
I think it would be nice if an independent won the presidency, and then maybe people would be more inclined to run as an independent, and then we could get rid of the two-party system, because the two-party system is a big problem. C-Spell says, I was saying how that girl lost and basically won in every category. Yeah. And if you don't have to fight, win. Tyson should have won too. Oh, that's why you think that the referees were going to pick him, because you don't have to fight. Okay, you were saying the girl that lost. Okay, and basically won in every category. If you don't have to fight, win. Tyson should have won too. I don't know. I don't think Tyson did enough to win. But of course, I missed the first couple rounds.
Tyson definitely didn't do enough to win.
What he says, that cabinet is exactly who Russia would pick for us. I mean,
okay.
You said it best. Sandbox says Elon will eliminate his company's competitors. That's not a good thing. He will. He's probably going to regulate Facebook so that he's more powerful than Facebook with his Twitter. You're probably right. News Now says, I think Vault is a Russian agent. I don't think so, bro. That's not me. Posing as an Indiana
Biden's a Russian agent, dude. Like, what the hell is he doing right now, bro?
Yeah, so what Biden has decided to do...
Why did he wake up? This dude's been sleeping for months. Like, just stay asleep, Joe.
I'm sure it was not his decision, and that there was a lot of people...
No, and it wasn't fully based on him. I think it was North Korea, right? So they were sending a shit ton of troops, and then, Biden was like, all right, well, now we're going to give Ukraine the ability to use strikes inside of Russian territory, which, if you look at other countries like Germany... Now, again, they're right next door, so it's a little bit different, right? They can be struck. We can't.
Right.
Where Germany is like, listen... We're not giving our missiles to anybody. We'll go to Ukraine and we'll fight with Ukraine if we get involved, and we'll shoot the missiles ourselves, and we'll be responsible for where they strike. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's Germany's stance on it. That's a lot of other countries' stance on it. We're just like, oh, hey, you need some rockets? Hey, you need some missiles? Hey, there you go. Fucking take them. Nah, I don't care what you do with them. You know what? Just leave them on the curb. I'll be out of here in a few months anyway. Like, what? Can you make it make sense?
No, the timing.
Make it make sense.
The timing's really bad for it, so I don't understand why they did it now after after the Democrats lost the election. Why would they make a decision like that? But of course, it had to come from the military. It didn't come from the Oval Office. They went to the Oval Office to get approval, but I'm sure it wasn't Biden's plan. He's not brainstorming how to help Ukraine defeat Russia right now. He's trying to not pee in his pants. News Now says yes.
I would like to think so.
You need to start gardening now. I'm not going to be gardening, especially in Indiana in November. There's not a lot of gardening going on right now, so I want to be able to go to the grocery store and buy my fruit for a reasonable price. Woody says, I agree with a lot of what RFK Jr.'s statements on food, but corporations own the politicians. Trump made Kennedy take a photo eating McDonald's because he dragged him.
But he didn't make him do anything. I bet you he was like, hey, this would be funny, Bobby, if we did this. And Kennedy was probably like, yo, let's do it. That would be great. He'd be like, that would be great. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Come on now. It wasn't like Trump was like, hey, Bobby, you take a bite of this freaking Big Mac or you're fired. You know? Like, I don't think that's the case.
Well, I know Kennedy did talk about how Trump ate and said that he's putting poison in him, and he kind of complained about it, all the food that comes up to the plane, but apparently he's eating it now too, so he's good with it. Aren't we involved already? Yeah, we are already involved in Ukraine, but we haven't allowed them.
But not on strikes on Russian soil.
Right.
That's a whole different ballgame.
That's like a counter-strike, but I mean, they are being attacked.
Defense mechanisms and stuff like that to avoid the invasion, like when they were sending all the tanks and everything, we were doing the drone strikes. That's a way different ballgame than, tactical missiles. Yeah, and
then you got on the other side, and C-Spill's talking about here, if we get into a war, it's going to slow down crypto.
This is my biggest fear.
It definitely will, yeah.
We're already seeing it.
Not just Ukraine and Russia either. It sounds like Israel, Netanyahu, wants America to either okay or help them attack Iran or Iran.
Yep.
And that would be another huge giant war that we don't want to get into. But I feel like everybody was running on not being in war and how Trump is anti-war. So I don't think Trump will get us into another war unless he's just a big fat liar, which we all know he is. So I don't know. It worries me. I'm not sure. C-Spill says, bye-bye, Omi. I mean, I don't know necessarily if we stay out of war, that's going to help Omi too much.
This is the nail in the coffin, really?
this is the one, unfortunately, for all those bag holders. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about Omi. There's a new update I want to get Mo's opinion on. But first, we're going to talk about our Web3 gaming game of the week. You know, MoKnowz always brings us the best Web3 games. He brought his Photo Finish Live. He talked about Off the Grid before Off the Grid ever happened, and many more. And today we're talking about Footium. So I just have a few screenshots from the Footium website and the link to the website down in the description. It's a soccer game. I don't know a lot about soccer, so Mo, tell us a little bit about Footium.
Yeah, it's a Web3 soccer game. It's not like a video game. You don't hook up a controller and run around. It's a management, sim. You basically put your team together. You put guys in a certain slot, put a goalie together, set your strategy, and then it'll just play out. Now you can actually log in. You can watch like the overhead stuff. I don't know if they're gonna do a 3D viewer. So here's the funny part. I actually used to own a team with BE, and we sold it because at the time, that's when Muzz Run, I was doing all the stuff with them, and they had the soccer.
Right.
And I was like, well, I'm not really gonna have time to play one and promote the other. You know what I'm saying? So
right. Yeah.
I wound up just going with Muzz, which even at the time I didn't really feel comfortable about it. But I'm looking at buying back into Footium. I've just been keeping an eye on it. My boy MJ, he's got the data website on the same PFL page he owns. So,
Nice.
it's fun. It's something that's a strategy, set it, forget it type of deal.
So
But
is
here's
it
what I
fantasy soccer, like real players?
No, it's not real players. So this is why I'm actually interested in it. So they had a player pool release. I think it was like November 8th or something. And basically, it was like, think of it like a draft, right?
Right.
So you own your team, and now there's a whole draft of players coming in, and they were like auctioned off or sold in packs, or
Okay.
But basically, in the first sale, the first player pool edition, they sold 59K. Pretty good.
59,000 players or $59,000
So
worth?
$59,000 worth.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So, I'm like, all right, well, if they're going to do that type of volume and there's people playing it, I know people that play it. I can do content. We can link up the streams or whatever. Because like I said, I mean, the Muzz Run thing, they shit the bed, in my opinion, as soon as they didn't finish dog racing and then released soccer. And then didn't finish dog racing, didn't finish soccer, and then released horse racing or announced horse racing. Apparently they have a wrestling game in the works. Like,
Oh my goodness.
finish
I didn't
one.
even know about the horse racing thing.
Yeah, they airdropped horses to all the dog people that bred within like December, I think. But I told Tom a long time ago, and I love Tom. He's a really cool dude. But I told him, I said, if you guys release, because he told me that they were thinking about doing it. And I was like, if you guys release a horse racing game against PFL, it's suicide. I was like, I'm sorry, dude. I was like, I wouldn't do it. It's just not a good. And this was back when PFL was hot too. And I was like, you really think you're gonna come in now when PFL's rolling? All right. Bottom of the level isn't worth thousands like it used to be. But guess what? If you pump out an SS minus, you can get a couple grand for that colt.
Right.
If you can get a really good one, a lot of money. One sold for $50,000.
Shoo.
If you're the first one to get to an SS Philly in PFL, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's selling for 100K. Someone will buy it because there is that much money still being thrown around on PFL. There's bigger whales there than I've seen anywhere in my life. It's insane.
Horse
But again,
racing
if you're at the
rounds.
bottom, people came in at the bottom and they're like, well, I bought these, A minuses for $2,000 and I can't even sell their babies. And I'm like, well, yeah, that sucks, but just race them because there's plenty of money to be made racing if you understand it and you have the time to watch races and take notes. You know what I mean?
Right.
New season started yesterday, right?
Yep.
I have 8 horses that are 1-for-1.
That's pretty good.
One race, one win. Most
Nice.
of the time, I'll have like 1 or 2 that come out and get a win right out the gate. But dude, I was streaming yesterday and just win after win after win with brand new horses. Bless you. But he sneezed.
That was
And
the
but you know what I'm saying? But like, that's where we got to get to when it comes to volume. And I think Footium, to bring it back, Footium seems to have a pretty good following. I like to look at the metrics on social media. I like to look at, obviously they're on OpenSea, so you can track it there.
Yep.
But what I wonder, this is what I really wonder. A game like Footium, where they don't make a video game, right? You just you draft the players and you whatever. But what if someone like EA came along and they saw what Podium was doing and they were like, hey, you know what? We want to incorporate that into FIFA.
Ooh,
Because instead of these guys trying to learn how to make a video game, which is very, very difficult, okay? FIFA was bad for a long time. Other soccer games have come and gone, right?
Right.
But if someone like EA or another company bought, I hope it'd be EA, bought Podium and then incorporated that idea into, FIFA, I don't know, man. I feel like that's the move, Because everything else these guys are doing just works. I mean, I know you don't really look too much into it, but I mean, are you the guy that just maybe like load it up once every couple days, set your position, set your team, and like kind of like set it and forget it? Is that something you'd be looking at doing, or
That's what I do when I'm playing like fantasy football. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say exactly. It's like fantasy football, but you have a little more control. You know what I'm saying? You can like hunt down certain players, and now you own them. If they're good, you can flip them. To me, it's almost more like DraftKings Rainmakers, where I was buying like Jameson Williams legendary for 100, and then flipping it for 1,000 when he had 2 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like you can do shit like that.
That's dope.
And to me, man, like that, to me, it just sounds like the future of sports gaming in general. Madden, FIFA, NHL.
Yeah, and I looked at the prices on these on OpenSea, and I think the cheapest team was about $100. So it's not like super expensive to get into, but I think once you have a team, I'm not sure how you get the players. Is it through one of the events you were talking about earlier, or do you have to go in and buy each individual player that you want on your team?
I think now you have to go in and probably buy them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you essentially just own the club rights to the name.
Oh, I see.
And then each club will be in a certain division. There's like also different leagues, like real soccer.
Right.
I don't know shit about real soccer either, outside of what I learned on Ted Lasso.
I don't know much about it either, but I watch the World Cup every once in a while.
Yeah, I like to watch like highlights of like bicycle kicks and rainbow kicks, whatever they're called.
True.
The headbutts, But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm probably gonna pick up a team,
Nice.
dive in. I'm looking for something to do, man. Ever since when crypto ran, the slots were paying me out the ass, bro.
Oh yeah.
I was spinning. I was up like 3,700. I withdrew like $3,000, and then it sucked back the other 700, then another 1,000 on my profit back. Then crypto ran again, so it started paying again. Paid like another $2,000, and now the past 2-3 days since crypto kind of like been volatile again.
Yeah.
This website's taking probably like, I don't know if my girls listen. I took like $2,000. I put this money back, bro. If this was my money, there's no shot I would just keep going to get my money back. But like, it's their money anyways, so.
Yeah, if you're playing with house money, that always makes it a lot easier. Shout out to Shankster says EA's all about the profits. Everybody knows that. The microtransactions, they prioritize new everyday gamers more than hardcore players too. Yeah, they are all about the microtransactions and making as much money as possible. So seeing them do something like this, I can't see them getting into Web3. But then again, the NBA's in Web3, so I don't know. Maybe. And I like that idea.
There's going to become a time. There's going to become a time where people put their foot down and they say enough's enough. Okay? Listen, I love Madden. I love NHL. Not a big NBA guy. But it's criminal when they expect you to take all, like, and again, I've always been team free on these Ultimate Team games.
Yeah.
I don't buy packs, but I'll like do the challenges and make all the coins and buy them,
Right.
But there's gonna come a time where people put their foot down, like, you know what? We're not buying this shit, giving you $5,000 in packs this year, and then $5,000 next year. I mean, these streamers are giving them like $100K, even though a lot of it's tax write-off. But there's gonna become a time where like Web3 is gonna make sense, and people are like, well, okay, so now we own the player, and maybe we don't own it the next year, but there's like a trade-in mechanism, right? Where you like trade in 2 of last year's players and get like a random pack with a new player from this season. Again, and giving you some value to the older cards, making people like me maybe invest a little bit of money, because right now they ain't getting shit.
Right, and then you'd have to burn them to get the new players, and then some people wouldn't burn theirs, and they would hold on to them, and they would become collectibles. So kind of what a lot of people envision the Web3 and NFT space being eventually. They can kind of lead to it. All right, before we move on to crypto, I did want to mention one more thing about sports I forgot to mention. There is a big game tonight. in an hour, the Cavaliers are playing the Celtics. Right now, the Cleveland Cavaliers are 15-0.
Are they undefeated?
Yes, they're undefeated, 15-0,
Jesus
and they have to play against the Celtics, the world champions, who have only lost 3 games. So that should be a good one. I don't know how the Cavaliers are doing so well. It's like Coutinho.
Who the hell do they have?
They got this Mobley guy's been crushing it. They got Jarrett Allen, but apparently they have a new center who's even better than Jarrett Allen. Jarrett Allen's one of my favorite players. And then, of course, they got your boy, who's their main guy? We went and watched him play, too. They call him Spider-Man. But he's really good, too, and he's been having some good games lately. But, yeah, I don't understand how they're the only undefeated team right now. They're beating everybody. So tonight's game should be an interesting one. On crypto, I'm sure a lot of people have heard crypto's been running up. Bitcoin's been going up. Now it's starting to retrace a little bit. A lot of the stuff's starting to retrace. I hear a lot of people talking about how instead of altcoins, it seems like meme coins are the ones that are getting the next leg up. And I mean, yeah, Donovan Mitchell. Thank you, News Now. That's exactly what I was thinking of. And I kind of feel like that's the same too. And with a lot of talk being made about the guy from Coinbase, I thought I knew his name, like Brian Miller, the CEO. He's supposedly meeting with Trump apparently, and meeting with some other people. And so that makes me feel like base meme coins could do really well. And I've gotten into a couple base meme coins this weekend, and both of them have done really well. I'll talk about those in a second. But the big news in crypto, maybe it's not the big news for everybody. We'll see what Mo thinks about it. I think we talked about it a little bit last week, but I have this video to show about it. They're putting out some marketing now. It's the collaboration with Doodles, the NFT platform from OpenSea. That got really big, and now they are collaborating with McDonald's, and there's going to be, it's already started apparently, a process to where you can get a cup from the McCafe menu. You got to order it online. I'll show you tell you what all you need to do. But if you do that, they'll send you some type of code that you can redeem to get a digital collectible. And I try to do some research on it. Nowhere in any of the media I've seen have they mentioned the word blockchain or NFT.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. It sounded more like the stamp thing with Starbucks, but I think that was blockchain. I think that was on the blockchain.
That was on the blockchain, yeah.
The Odyssey stamp Starbucks thing?
Yeah, because I almost went in and bought one, and the one that I almost bought ended up being worth a bunch of, not a bunch of money, but it was like a 2 or 3x, and I didn't buy it. Thank you, C-Spell.
When those Starbucks stamps came out, I was telling my girl, and we were joking around about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was around Christmas time. Dude, that Christmas stamp was selling for like $25K to people.
Yeah.
Insane, bro. Some of those Starbucks, those people are nuts.
That's crazy, and I wonder how these are going to do the McDonald's. I saw even Ben Rose from VeVe, the new co-CEO at VeVe, was tweeting about it, how this is big for the space. So I'm assuming maybe he knows that they're NFTs. I mean, like I said, they haven't said blockchain or NFT anywhere, but they are working with Doodles, and it is supposed to be a digital collectible. And on this graphic at the very bottom, you can see 3 little items, like a McDonald's shirt, a McDonald's hat, and a jacket. I think those are the 3 items that are supposedly or possibly NFTs. And so
I hope it's not like some pre-built app where you log in and it's like, oh, hey, we see you bought a McDonald's coffee. Here's your Doodles digital collectible, and it's nothing more than just like a little thing that you run around in a game with or something shit, you know?
That's pretty much exactly what it sounds like, because it's some
Is
type of...
it gonna be like a...
yeah, like a metaverse. I think they even use.
Is there a marketplace? Like, is there like what the hell?
I wish I could read this graphic, but it's so small. I'm sure
is that
people that are watching.
Dullsville? Is that the name of the? Is that the name of the game you're getting stuff for? Is Dullsville? Okay.
Yeah.
But what do we know about Dullsville? I haven't even seen that graphic that you're looking at right now.
Yeah, it's created by Doodles, and Doodles is that big NFT project, and I think they also have collaborated with some other big names before. Maybe they're at Target or something. What he says, I think you redeem through the app, so it could be like VeVe. It says here, to get the digital collectibles, you must get the McDonald's mobile app, turn on emails, and then buy your coffee through the app. So, I mean, that's basically what you gotta do. I was gonna do it today, but I already get up early anyway. This weekend, though, and my kid says he wants, because I was telling him about it, he wants to try coffee for the first time. And I try to explain to him that you're not going to like coffee, but then again, that might give me a second NFT. So I think I'm going to let him try some cappuccino this weekend. So we're going to have 2 shots at it. I don't know if all the McDonald's are participating, but I just know that you have to do it through the app. And then hopefully they'll email me this code, and then I will get a little bit more information once I own the digital collectibles. Now, I don't know why people are super hyped about it, since McDonald's has put out NFTs before. They did a McRib NFT, which I thought would be worth a bunch of money, but we looked it up on Stream, I think we looked at the right one. It's hard to tell these days, but at the one I saw, there were like 10,000 editions, and they were selling for under $5. And it was like a McRib NFT, and apparently McDonald's' first NFT. So if that one's not doing good, I don't know necessarily why these would do good, besides the fact that it's with Doodles. So what do you think, Mo? Are you going to go to the McCafe and get yourself a coffee and try to get one of these collectibles?
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a shot. Again, I'm just really trying to figure out what the hell it's all about. I mean, I found the page, so apparently they opened up the store, or they opened up the app or whatever. It's weird. So apparently you can pay $5 and get early viewing access to the Dullsville Doodleverse. 50,000 tickets sold. 50,000 dumbasses paid $5 to watch a video early. Holy crap.
Wow.
Bro, why can't we do something that makes a fraction of that? Can we get something that makes 10 dumbasses give us $5 or $10 each?
No, we're not talented enough for that. All you gotta do is be able to draw some doodles, apparently, and they're not even like super complicated to draw. But yeah,
They don't even have mouths. I'm the worst artist in the world, and I feel like I could probably do something that rivals this. But I'm not gonna listen. I know was it Pharrell, whatever's behind it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Pretty creative dude.
Yep.
But anyway, I was only joking around. But yeah, apparently you make an avatar. You go into Doodleverse. I don't know. I guess I'll probably stop in and get a cup of coffee.
Can't stop. Well, you gotta use your app first, but yeah, you can stop in.
Well, I'll use the app. Yeah, I'm saying, but
I'm definitely gonna try.
I don't have shit delivered, man. Especially when it's liquid. I don't trust people, man.
I haven't heard a lot of people or seen a lot of people like posting their NFTs that they got from this promotion yet. So let's see. Somebody just sent me something. I'll pull this up on screen so you guys can see a little bit more information about it. I'm definitely going to try to get one, but I don't even necessarily know that it's going to be on the blockchain. So this was sent over here, I think, by Woody. It says, get a coffee, crack a pack, join the community. Oh, so apparently there's packs starting November 18th, which was yesterday. McCafe X Doodles holiday cups. Order a hot drink via the McDonald's app. You get a present from Doodles sent to your email. Then you can share on social media. A song with Pharrell and Marley Blue drops November 22nd. And then also you'll also get access to animated pilot episode. I did see that for some reason. I guess they're putting together some cartoon, and this gives you
maybe
access.
that's what the $5. So maybe it just bypasses that.
Right.
Maybe that's why it's so many people. They might be counting the free, probably like a voucher redemption or something.
Right. Yeah, it could be.
That's not that impressive if it's 50,000 cups of coffee sold.
Yeah.
Or
that's a whole different
let's just call
thing.
it 40,000. But yo, what's interesting on that page, if you scroll down, I don't know if you're looking at it. Bro, these could be worth money down the road. I might actually grab a set of these.
What's that? The cups?
Donald Doodle pins.
And digital apparel for your personal Doodles character.
Enamel pins.
Okay. I do remember them saying, I don't see it on this graphic, but I do remember them saying something about the enamel pins.
Bro, like they have one with the burglar, Hamburglar.
That's a good point. There's a lot of pin collectors out there.
They got one with Grimace and the chick, the Ladybird. Oh, dude, these things. Yeah, stuff like that. I feel like with the Doodles collaboration at McDonald's.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna buy like these and seal them up, put them away.
That's a good idea. I want one of those too. C-Spill says
there's only 1,100 of each set ever made, so
they're pretty scarce then. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
C-Spill's talking about how Doodles got McDonald's, so now VeVe can maybe get Burger King or Taco Bell. I mean, they can still get McDonald's too. I've always hoped that VeVe would give away NFTs with Happy Meals at McDonald's. That would be huge. A great catalyst. Yeah. Pokey says 5 drinks of Myth Cafe. You have to buy 5? I thought you had to buy 1. I can't.
Dude, they could
5.
do their own shit called MFTs. McFungible tokens.
McFungible. Bro, you should sign up for their marketing
NFTs,
right there.
bro.
Let's go. Hopefully somebody at McDonald's is watching. You just gave away $1 million idea. Sandbox says, also, app gave me free fries while getting the McCafe yesterday. Ooh, I didn't know you get free stuff too. It makes sense though. I hate downloading those apps, but they talked me into it by giving away digital collectibles. Abdullah makes a good point.
I got 10 nuggets for $1.
10 nuggets for $1.
Yeah.
This is my first time I ever used a McDonald's app.
I didn't eat them. I ate them the next day. I just heated them up, but I was like, fuck. 10 nuggets for $1. I'm gonna grab them.
I use the apps for Papa John's and Domino's, and I get free pizzas all the time from them. So yeah, I guess I should start using apps more often. Abdullah with a good counter to C-Spill here says VeVe does have KFC though, and they got the KFC pins. Let's go. C-Spill says one arm. Are you talking about the Nounish characters? They all had one arm. Not only in the United Kingdom, McCafe. They said it was the United States only on the one thing that I read. Woody says, I just want that Grimace hat. Is that the kind of hat that
too?
Yeah. All right, and then what's going on with VeVe? Let me show you this new announcement they made, Mo. See what you think about this. So VeVe came out and said that they, oh no, and I can't read it because it's so low. It's so small. They will, okay, so they made a big announcement that they finally got upgraded on CoinMarketCap, I believe. Let me do this. Okay. The Komi team has successfully verified the OMI token on the world's biggest cryptocurrency tracker, CoinMarketCap. This will ensure accurate and up-to-date token reporting for users, as well as improve the recognition. So they finally got listed on CoinMarketCap. And Epico Hodler shows that their rank went from in the 3200s up to sub 500. However, isn't that something that every project does, like within the first 24 hours of starting?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna say like we're taking baby steps when we should be running full speed.
Yeah, that's what it seems like too.
So that's cool.
Yeah, and Omi got a little pump the other day, like quick kitty cat, and a lot of people got excited. Once again, every time it pumps, people get excited about it, and then the next couple of days it falls back down. I think it's back to under 0003 again.
Attention span of a human being, bro. Like I said, we cannot stress it enough. 24 hours, 72 hours, these are all critical markers, man. And it's so easy to just get lost in the sauce in this crypto world. And especially, like I said, if Omi's not doing anything and VeVe's not constantly keeping you engaged, right?
Right.
Again, bringing it back to PFL real quick, that's what they've done so well. They're getting that sticky game loop, right? That like mobile games have.
Right.
It's like, oh, got to make sure I log in today. Got to make sure I'm running for this free event. Got to make sure I'm doing that. Like, always kind of like dangling the carrot, you know?
That's smart. That's what they need to do. Yeah,
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what makes successful mobile games or gaming in general.
Right. And that's kind of what the burning mechanism was for Omi in the beginning. They gave us that idea that we were building up to something and that was lesser and lesser of supply, but then they changed the tokenomics of it, and now the burns is just, I don't even know that burns even happen. I think they happen very sparsely.
Right, but think about how insane that would have been for the Omi token if that would have continued, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you have a good drop, you bring the attention to VeVe, you bring attention to the token, whether it's through app integration or whatever the case might be, but Omi pumps. Then you get to the nighttime where things might typically cool off, and then you get a post from Omi Burn where it's like, 4 billion Omi burned today from market sales or whatever, right?
Yep.
Bam. Now you got more attention. Now you got more people tweeting it. You got more people showing up. It's showing up in more people's feeds, right?
Right.
That token's not going to be affected by such crazy price action at that point. Crown's a good example of that. Like when Alex Becker throws Crown in there and then 7 other influencers come out and throw it in, Crown will always bounce from 28, 30 cents to 50. You know what I mean? Like every fucking time.
Yeah, I've been seeing Crown making a lot of moves that went up and then came back down again.
Yeah. But because Crown has a lot of utility and it's very much like Omi, dependent on one particular app, which is PFL, right?
Right, yep.
So if people are like, oh, well, we haven't heard anything from Ian, or there hasn't been too many developmental updates, first of all, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. But there are people that feel like PFL has been stale, like I'm going to take the month off of racing. I'm like, first of all, I only made a few $100 racing last month, but I made $500 in one day yesterday of profit racing.
Nice.
New horses are killing it. I race way too many horses anyway. I probably could have made a couple grand last month. So people are like, oh, I'm bored. I'm like, well, you continue to be bored. I'm just going to make more money, and I'm going to continue to race. But if you don't give the people something like that driving factor of like logging in, again, that core loop of like, again, the sales into the Omi burn posting overnight, Omi will continue to go up, but we don't get that, Right. Again, something happens one day, 3 days later, there you go, fucking plummets off a cliff, and people are like, oh, what happened to Omi? Like, it'll be another 6 weeks before we hear anything again.
I mean, if it keeps dropping, really, though, at some point, you got to think of the value proposition of owning 1 million Omi tokens. If it goes all the way down to 0001, and I can buy 1 million for $100 and then put that in the app and get the MCP points for it, I mean, where's that break-off point to where people are just it's so cheap that they're gonna buy it just for the MCP?
Well, I think that almost becomes irrelevant, right? Because it's just going to create like a butterfly effect. So you're going to come in and buy 1 million OMI token, and so is everybody else. Maybe they might buy 10 million OMI token.
Right.
And then when it comes time to bid OMI, MCP points, they're going to still have 10 times more than you because they're whales and they probably overbought. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Now, unless there's some like guaranteed like 1,000 MCP points, you get this item. Okay, it'll be beneficial there. But if it's still a bidding war, you'll still lose that every time, no?
Well, what I was thinking is for the new evolvable drops, and I don't know exactly how much MCP you're going to need for those, but starting, I guess it's a week from Saturday, the first evolvables drop is happening on VeVe. It's Punisher, first appearance, and you're going to have to buy the common. Everybody has to buy the common, but from there, you can pay an extra 9 gems, and I think they said you have to use MCP to evolve up to an uncommon. You can do it all the way up to secret rare. So if you need MCP for that, then it kind of makes more sense because I'm going to want to be participating in the evolvable drops because it seems like they're going to be dropping some decent collectibles. Like if you get that secret rare Punisher, and there's probably not going to be a lot of them, it's probably going to be worth a ton, and it's probably going to be animated. And if they only have, let's say, 100 of the secret rare Punishers, whenever this evolvable drop happens, it's going to be the first, I guess, they're probably keep about 20 of those, so there'll only be 80 available to the public. So the first 80 people to go through the whole evolvable process will be the only people who can get the secret rare. Then after that, the secret rare is cut off. So it might actually be a race to see who can get the secret rares the fastest. So you're going to want to have the MCP so you can afford to do it. But also, there might be some type of tips and tricks in order to speed yourself up because it's going to be a race and they're going to go fast. So it's going to be interesting to see how this new drop mechanic works out. Are you going to participate in the first evolvables drop coming up, Mo? There's probably a good chance for profit in it.
Yeah, I got a bunch of MCP points. I should have enough to do what I got to do.
Nice. I have no idea what the MCP cost is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I have enough, though. If I don't, then there's something wrong with the system. Because I own a lot of shit. I never sold anything, and I got sets and one-of-one things and whatever. But I digress. Yeah, I'll check it out. You know, like I said, so what you're saying, if there's like a set price of like MCP, again, 1,000 MCP points to move up in level, yeah, OMI tanking actually does help that.
Yeah.
But from like I was just saying from a bidding perspective,
right,
of like the way it is now with the drops, right?
Yeah, I can't even compete, and I've been on the app for almost 4 years.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And imagine if people just stacked crazy amounts of OMI and then staked it away and then collected the MCP points, and then you're like, well, shit. Now, when the next big drop happens, which, I don't know, Captain America 1, when? Yeah, I mean, you know, you'll be like, wow, now there's big whales that are doing 10 million, you know, to make sure they guarantee their spot, you know, something crazy like that, right?
Yeah, there is actually a cutoff at some point. It might be 10 million. I can't remember what it is, but a certain amount of OMI that you hold in the app gets you a certain amount of MCP, and then any OMI above that doesn't help at all because that's the cap for how much MCP you can have for holding OMI on the app. All right, so I do have another thing about VeVe I want to show you that just came out a couple of hours ago. I mentioned it when we first went live. They just had a live stream where they showed some more new footage, some user-created footage from the VeVeverse. So I didn't look at it real close while I was watching it. I was recording it, but I kind of want to look at it and see if we can see any type of new features that we didn't know about in this video. It's created by Falcon. If you've been around for a long time, you know Falcon spends a lot of times creating videos of his showroom, whether it be in the VeVeverse or not. Even the old showrooms, he would, you know, put a lot of detail into and make it look real crazy. So that's another aspect of this to keep track of, because you might not be able to do all the stuff that he's doing. For one, you don't know how, or two, you don't have the time, because it looks like it took a long time. So let's check it out and let me know what you think about it, Mo.
Yeah, I haven't seen the show, so I'm interested.
Yeah, it just came out. There's no sound to it or anything. It was created by Falcon. Yeah, Falcon. And it's supposed to be a haunted house. So, I mean, this is the VeVeverse here. This is not just like a showroom. And I wonder how he's getting these steps. Like, is the steps some type of feature that everybody gets access to? Or is this from some NFT that he, like, blew up? Looks more like a feature that you can just click on and add steps.
Either that, I mean, it could be built-in stuff, but it also... Everything looks very vector-based, shape-based.
Right.
So this is something I used to do a lot in, if you remember Forza Racing early on with the livery skins, what are they called?
Yep.
Like the outer skins you can make your own. The things that I learned how to make with only using basic shapes, like overlapping and everything, is crazy. And it's the same concept when you're doing 3D builds. I mean, and this is no knock at what Falcon made, but that was nothing more than basic shapes and illuminating, point lights or spotlights, right? So I could go into my 3D project right now and probably make this in about, maybe probably for the end of the show. But that's not really the point. The point is, like, what else can you really do here? I mean, the graphics are pretty subpar, at least on the outdoors. Now, I don't know, are there different texture resolutions? Can I upload my own high-def seamless texture files that I own from 3D Design? If I own them, can I upload them?
Probably not. I mean, it's all built on the Cavernous template. So if you ever used Cavernous before, it's kind of weird that there's spiral steps there. I don't know if those spiral steps are something that is a feature that you could just get for anybody who's creating their own house, or if that's some NFT, like I said, that he blew up or made it look like spiral steps.
I mean, that would be really hard to do. And that looks like... Because again, you're probably going to load up into Cavernous or VeVeverse and be like, oh, okay, what do you want to put down? Your collectibles or basic architecture? Okay, you go to basic architecture. What do you want to do? You want to put down a floor. I want to put down a roof. I want to put down stairs. And you probably click on that and you have 4 different options. Oh, hey, let's put a spiral stair, right? I mean, that could also be an option. Like preset, asset packs or something.
Right. Yeah, and they even showed a little bit during the first demo that we saw a couple weeks ago where they got different shapes that you can use and ways to create shelves. So, I mean, it's kind of cool what you can do with it. I noticed that there wasn't any IP in his entire showroom, so I don't know if the people who had early access were able to use stuff like Disney and Marvel, because I noticed that all his stuff was like Cryptoys, not Cryptoys, but Cryptkins and stuff like that, Unicornos. So maybe that's why, but they didn't say for sure during the preview a couple weeks ago that all IP would be included in the VeVeverse coming up. So people are going to be doing some messed up things with their Elsas, I already know.
But the question is, will the IPs care? Right? So if VeVeverse finally comes out and people are making cool ass shit and they got America Chavez blown up, you know what I'm saying? Like the center of attention in town square, and then fireworks and all sorts of crazy shit. But then you have someone like Marvel who never interacts with that type of stuff, never retweets anything. Like, I'm talking the craziest video you've ever seen. If they don't care, it very well could even be like the beginning of the end. Because I don't really know how much Marvel or even Disney at this point. I know, what's his name, Bob Iger, like he was so big on the Web3, space the first time around.
Yeah, it was.
Once he come back, I don't really see him pushing it too much this time around.
Right, but then again, crypto is starting to become more mainstream, especially with it being in the political debate. And now you got to expect that Trump is going to do something in favor of crypto, since he said he was going to the whole entire time he was running. So whenever they start making moves on the national level and crypto starts to become more mainstream, that can trickle down with the old trickle-down economics into NFTs and things like this.
I mean, not wrong. I mean, if the common folk come in, you know what I'm saying, and then they're like, okay, cool, well, mainstream money's in now. Like, let's release everything again that they've been working on or talking about. Again, if they know they have VeVe, excuse me, excuse me. If they know they have VeVe, working on this stuff on the back end, they don't really have to even worry about it until the time's right. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, and they also have Pinnacle, and who knows, Pinnacle might blow up with all those hardcore Disney pin collectors, and then if Pinnacle blows up and they learn about NFTs, that could end up being good for VeVe as well, since VeVe has like first appearances and all the characters, which they might be interested if they're into that kind of stuff. All right, and then Albonia says, are we talking crypto? So we were talking a little bit of crypto. Of course, crypto is going up. And I was talking about base meme coins a little bit, the ones I got into this weekend. One of them I just kind of found by looking around in my old wallet and noticing something that had gone up 100%. I only had like less than one coin left. It was one of those things that I bought probably during an initial sell and then sold off after the pump. and didn't sell exactly 100% of it, so like 99.99%. And I was looking at it in my wallet and saw that it had just gone up 100% over the last 24 hours. So I looked at their socials and went ahead and bought like $50 worth, and it's already, well, it tripled for a minute there. Then it came back down. Then it went back up, and it came back down over the last couple of days. This one has been fluctuating pretty hard. It's called AEROBUD, AEROBUD. Maybe I can pull up their Twitter. And it seems like their community is a lot of Spanish speakers. So it might be one that the normal crypto content creators, or the people that you look to on social media for what cryptos get into, might have possibly overlooked this one. But they have a pretty big community. I joined their Discord. I think I tried to join their Telegram, but for some reason I didn't. And they do donations. I think 20% of proceeds go to animals that need help. So for helping animals, and you can see it just looks like a superhero dog, but it is on the base network, which I think if meme coins do get a huge pump, that base meme coins in particular would do well, maybe more than Solana, because Solana is just oversaturated with crazy meme coins. I'm sure there's going to be some on there that'll do good, like Daddy and the big ones or whatever, but base coins, maybe even some of the unheard of base coins that have really low market cap. This one's at like 10 mil. Can end up doing well. One that even has a lower market cap, and the one we were talking about at the beginning of the stream, is Blue BLU. Let me see if I can find. Here's a little bit of information. They've apparently got together with a lot of pretty big content creators. I think they call them KOLs. KOLs is the new word people are using. But some of these people have quite a few followers, probably paid to tweet about them, but that's still a lot of good marketing, and it's already been going up a little bit. We did, like I was talking about earlier, the live stream where they launched the token. It was a little bit of a rocky launch, and I got back in at 1 million market cap. This was, I guess yesterday was at 2.76 million market cap. It went up a little bit, and then it's kind of been holding steady for the last 24 hours. Hasn't really done a lot. It hasn't gone down yet, but it hasn't gone up a whole lot either. So that's one I've been checking out. And what about you, Mo? You getting into any crypto right now? Are you holding any crypto, or do you have your eye on anything?
Yeah, I mean, I've been sitting on, well, I was sitting on about 15 Solana since fucking $20. Wow. Now I got probably 30, 40 Solana in the bag. I'm still sitting on probably over 100,000 crown that I'm just going to basically sit on, and hopefully it goes back to $2 one day.
Nice.
Those are my main two holdings. I got a shit ton of Matic, just from like Muzz Run of getting the monthly kickbacks.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I see Matic's gone up quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, but when I was also getting it was at $1.30, $1.35, so really not that good comparison to that.
Oh.
But I do, again, that's another one of my bigger bags. I think my biggest bag right now, honestly, it's my biggest play is Bonk. I've been holding it. I sold it, actually. I think I cried about this numerous times with you. I sold my initial holding of Bonk, and a year later it was worth $400K. And I think I sold it for $150.
Wow, that's pretty sad.
Never, because I was like, it's just, why even keep it in my wallet? Whereas now, all my coins that crashed the last time, they were all profits. Now, like you said, because I look at my wallet, I'm like, ooh, that went up 140%. Like, I got the WEN token, I got the Mew token. That Mew token was rolling. I owned a shit ton. I had $500 of profit in that, in my wallet. And I just recently, that shit ran, I sold a bunch of profit on that.
Nice.
It ran like 40-50%, something like that. So
no, I don't know Mew, but I got airdropped some WEN. I sold my WEN when I got it airdropped.
Yeah, so yeah, Mew, WEN. Another interesting coin that I've been tracking is this AI. Apparently it's like a launch platform for AI stuff. My buddy David from PFL tweeted about it. And I know he normally messes around with some pretty good projects, especially if he's talking about it on Twitter. He's definitely not someone that's going to get paid for that type of shit.
Nice.
But it's called VeVe, VeVe-AI-FU. I don't think it's waifu. I think it's waifu.
Oh, gotcha. VeVe-AI.
Or VeVe-AI-FU.
So it's supposed to be like waifu, but they use the V's for the W.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I mean, it's on a little bit of a downswing now. I picked up a little bit on a nice bounce. Actually, on stream, we called it. Picked up a nice little there. It ran 60%. Took some profits, got out. Now I'm just kind of riding on profits. But, you know, it's just under a penny. On the 10 cents rather, it's not like 9.5 cents.
Right.
Market cap though is 96 mil. So I mean, you know.
That's not bad at all. That sounds like a good play. I like that low market cap stuff personally. C-Spill says Brett, Pepe, Bonk, Matic, Polly, and Doge are the ones he likes. Man, I made a lot on Brett. I wish I would have held some Brett, but I sold all my Brett. But I sold way up in profit. And then I heard Pepe pumped again because they listed it on an exchange. And that's the thing about these base meme coins. If Coinbase starts listing more of the meme coins onto their exchange, because apparently they've started to list some meme coins, then who knows what could pump. I mean, they might have a big listing where they list like 100 of them, and it could be one that you're holding a bag of could take off because of it. Alboni says, what's your guys' thought on XRP, XLM, HBAR, and Cardano? Man, everybody's been talking about XRP since the beginning of me ever getting into crypto a few years ago. It's supposedly going to be...
Well, you know why it's a hot topic now, though, right?
Because Trump's won the election, right?
Well, yeah, but he's saying now that if his law of any U.S.-based crypto has no capital gains tax.
Oh, right.
So all those coins that he listed would actually fall under that. As a matter of fact, Crown, I think, falls under that because they're based out of Florida. So there could be no potential capital gains tax on that $200,000 or $2 million crypto Crown sale I got to make one day.
Man, I hope you do. Yeah, I cashed out some of my Crown a long time ago when I think it was up to like 1.5 cents or higher. And I wish I would have bought more, but I've been earning it by staking it on those tracks. So I still got a little bit of Crown myself. And then there's Cardano, and I heard Cardano already pumped really hard. Cardano was the first crypto that I ever made money on. Might have been the first one I ever bought. I remember I bought a bunch of Cardano, not a bunch, like a couple $100 of Cardano and like doubled it. And then after that, I bought something else and then lost that money that I had just made off Cardano. And then I know Cardano partnered with Terra Virtua back in the day too, and they have a really big community. But isn't it just its own blockchain, and it doesn't really do anything? It doesn't do, I mean, it doesn't have anything special on it. Do you know much about Cardano?
I know it's really good for DeFi. I don't really fuck with a lot of the dApps or business type stuff when it comes to crypto, really.
Gotcha.
I know people say it's really good for that. But I don't know, mass adoption, man. I don't know. I feel like if you're not, you know, I'm just gonna say like the big three right now, you say Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, right?
Yep.
But when it comes to gaming, you just rule out Bitcoin because you can't do gaming on Bitcoin. So now it leaves you with Ethereum, layer 2s on Ethereum, and then, you know, like Solana. You know,
right.
Or base gaming, right? Do base gaming would be cheap.
Sure.
You know, Avalanche is dirt cheap. I think Avalanche is probably, I forgot, I put a lot of money in Avalanche the other day. I saw it at a nice little dip, and I was like, just throw some money at it. I think
I made some money off of Avalanche. I'm a big fan of Avalanche. That was even before they had Off the Grid, because Off the Grid is built on the Avalanche blockchain.
Yep. Yeah, they got a couple other big projects I was looking at. Every time I saw it, I was like, damn.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that's on Avalanche? I was like, oh, shit, that's Avalanche? I'm like, you know what? Yeah. I think I took some Crown profits at the time.
Yeah,
I take profits from Crown, too, along the way. I mean,
nice.
Even when it was at $2, I probably cashed out close to like 6 figures on Crown over that year.
Dang. Good stuff.
That's how I bought my car.
Wish I could cash out a 6-figure on anything, especially like something like Omi that was supposed to be 6 figures. Never happened. C-Spill says IMX. That's kind of another gaming platform. I mean, I don't know what all they have. I know that card game, I don't know exactly.
Gods Unchained.
What's it called?
Gods Unchained.
Gods Unchained. Yeah, no, that one was pretty popular for a while there, but I haven't heard a lot else from them. But I did see that their coin has gone up. I don't know if, I'm sure it came back down, but I remember about a year ago, Hello K made a bunch of money off of stacking IMX. But since they never did anything really with VeVe or Omi, then I never really got into it much. C-Spill also likes FET.
They got HRO. Oh, wait a second.
They did have HRO, that's right. But yeah, I think I still have something listed on their market from HRO. It never did get purchased. I think I tried to sell it for Omi.
Bro, I cannot believe I got an email from those motherfuckers the other day, and they were like, log in now for the latest digital sale on HRO. And I'm like, don't y'all motherfuckers going out of business?
Not yet. Not till like January or February. I still get those emails too. And I know some people are saying that they're participating in those drops, but...
That's like your girl telling you she's going to leave you in February and it's fucking November.
Right.
And it's like, you know what? I'm not going to let you bang me. I'm not going to let you touch me. Nothing. but I'm leaving in February. That's so weird. Like, how you gonna?
Yeah, it makes no
or
sense.
trying to get laid until February. Like, why are you still selling packs? Why are you still trying to take people's money? I mean, I guess things are still selling. You can transfer it out to the IMX marketplace, I guess. But no utility, man. Like, that was the cool part of HRO. Like, reward the collectors. They actually did it. I feel bad for people like Waza and these dudes who, you know, Kobe. Like, these guys had like, I think they lived in warehouses that had boxes of HRO cards. Like, shipped there.
Was sending some
Pretty
of
sure.
some cards too. I don't know if they were sending them to Kobe, but I know they were sending some to Wazaverse just to open on his stream. So that must have been nice. But they had such a good user interface too, like their platform. They had an app and everything. So I kind of didn't think that they would be the ones that went out of business. But then again, there's not a whole lot left. Recur's already gone out of business. Surprisingly, McFarlane Digitals is still sticking around. I think their quality is just really good. And then Elmon X is still sticking around, which is kind of surprising. But I felt like Hero was one of the top ones because their software was just so well made.
I mean, it made sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got disconnected. All right, we're reconnected. Sorry about that. A little bit of spike there in the internet. But what I was saying is it would have been really cool if they got Magic the Gathering cards, even if they weren't playable, just to collect. Just because I used to play back in the day and a lot of other people did as well. So the nostalgia of getting, was that one, the locks, oh man, I can't remember. What's the Lotus one? Black Lotus, I think is what it's called. The most expensive Magic the Gathering card. Or even just getting like Siobhan Dragons.
Oh, Black Lotus, yeah. You ever play with a Black Lotus?
No.
Oh, I actually had the pleasure. I played during Alpha.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I never owned it. I actually owned some Moxes early on. And I owned all the dual land. That was from Unlimited. But yeah, my boys actually owned Lotuses, Moxes, everything. They owned them all, dude. And I remember just going to KB Toys and just, I hate to say it, but like, we just used to ask the lady, be like, hey, can we look at that video game on the wall? And as soon as she turned her back, someone else would just grab the entire box of like the booster packs, like the starter decks.
Dang.
And they would just walk right out. Like, bro, we were so ballsy back then, bro. One person would just distract, and the other person would grab the box. And that's how they got most of their cards, but it was always stolen goods.
Yeah, it happens.
I mean, statute of limitations is up, right? I mean,
right, yeah, definitely. And it's New York, it's probably legal these days.
Oh, actually, yeah, it's probably under the threshold.
It was back then. They're probably worth more.
I didn't carry a calculator with me like the current criminals do.
Big A says a bunch of dinosaur
sure.
coins that got a recent Trump pump from possible advisor positions. Definitely much better projects for this run. Dinosaur coins from possible advisor positions. I don't know much about that. You might have to expand on that a little bit. Big A says FET isn't just Fetch AI anymore. It's a merge of Fetch Ocean and Singularity. It's now Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. MCAP's so big, gonna limit gains. Oh, so the market cap's already really high. Sounds interesting. I heard people talking about FET like a year ago. And people talk about thousands of coins. I don't know which ones to zero in on. I like the meme coins.
I owned Fetch AI for so long. I was like, you know what? Let me just ditch it. I mean, it might still be under where the hell I ditched it out a long time ago, but it was one of them coins, yeah. Even back then with AI, my homie who now lives in Florida was like, bro, this AI shit's gonna take over the world, bro. And I was kind of like you in the beginning. I'm like, nah, it's just like a computer program. But as time goes on now, we see it's like, you know what? Nah, these computer programs aren't this good, you know?
Yeah.
Like I was watching Elon talk about his new robot. And he was like, yeah, and if you get the Tesla Cybertruck paired with the Tesla robot, you could have the robot do anything. You could have it pick up your kids from school. Like you could have it be school. You don't even have to. The robot can stay home and teach your kids. The robot can be your bodyguard. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, this sounds like some crazy iRobot type shit.
Yes, I wouldn't be wanting to have one of them robots in my house. I'd be afraid they'd start blinking red, take over the family, just like in the movie.
Yeah, could you imagine, bro? You just like chilling, you're out on the road, getting some fucking McDonald's or something, all of a sudden you get a phone call. It's like, Dad, the robot's going crazy. He's fucking punching the wall. He's got a rocket. Fucking, you didn't know that your robot came with like a fucking little portable fucking nuke in his back pocket. You know what I mean?
And I wouldn't be surprised either that Elon added that. Yeah, or at least one of his flamethrowers.
Elon, bro, imagine like a Chinese takeover where they hack these robots and they ship them into like 1 million homes with these little fucking tactical nukes in their fucking butt cheek.
Right.
And then fucking some weirdo tries to go bang that robot in the ass and sets off the nuke.
There's already some stuff in motion. I mean, you're in New York. Maybe you've seen them before. Have you ran across any driverless cars yet? Where'd you go, Mo?
Sorry, I don't know why every time my phone makes a notification, my Bluetooth headset switches to my phone.
Oops.
All right, we're back, sir.
Now, have you ever ran into any driverless cars in New York yet?
No, and I got a big problem with those. I think it's only in certain areas, right? It's not like everywhere is going to be wireless hands-free driving. Is that correct?
I don't know, man. They got the new taxis, the driverless taxis, and I think they could probably program that for any city. Just learn the layout of the land, and then they're already definitely going around in California. I didn't know if they were in New York yet, but in California you can just ring up this service and a car will come to you with nobody in it. You get in the passenger seat and then it drives you to your destination. And that, to me, is almost the same as having one of those robots. It seems pretty scary.
I mean, yeah, and this is why, if you want to talk about taking our jobs, when people are like, oh, it's so weird, AI is taking over all the industries, right?
Right.
You know who paid for it? The companies themselves. All the tax credits that they were getting from every administration, didn't matter left, right, center, to invest in AI, right?
Right.
And automated systems. They were basically paying and getting tax credits to basically fire their employees down the road and save money. They knew exactly what was going on. So the fact that we're going to have, taxi drivers, Uber drivers now put out of business is I don't like that, man. But what I saw a thing from Ford where it was they have a fancy name for it, but it's only in certain areas.
Okay.
And it's only on the highway, which if that's the case, I might kind of be okay with it. But dude, I just don't want to be driving along, doing my thing, and then I get fucking, sideswiped or T-boned from a driverless car, and I happen to be high, but I've been driving high for fucking 30 years, and I've never had an issue. You know what I'm saying? And then I gotta get fucked because I'm lit behind the wheel, but this fucking driverless car just fucking gets me in trouble. It's like a narc, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and if for some reason somebody in the government had something against you, and there was a camera, and they purposely targeted you, it would be pretty easy to purposely target somebody and make it look like it was their fault in this accident, or just run them off the side of the road. I mean, I don't know. It seems
and actually, it's funny. I actually had this idea. Yesterday, I had to go drive out east. Well, doesn't mean shit to you out east, but it's an hour drive one way. But long-ass trip, I had to get my vape juice. And I was thinking about it, right? Because I just saw the Ford commercial again. And I'm like, man, who gets priority, right? So if it uses, AI-based or, sensors or whatever, you're going to have these two cars that could potentially be duking it out, right?
Right.
But then it got me thinking even further. Okay, that could already be a collision, but I'm sure these cars are smart enough, they'll avoid it, right? Hopefully there's nobody else trying to go around them at the time. But then I started thinking even one step further. What if it becomes almost like a pay-to-win mechanic? And I've never heard anybody discuss this, by the way. This is all my stone driving for an hour thinking. What if it becomes a pay-to-win mechanic where it's if you own a Lexus, you can pay $49.99 a month and get priority access to switch lanes before anybody else. So if you're driving a fucking Honda and the other guy's driving a Lexus, they're gonna get ahead of you at all times. You know what I'm saying? This weird convenience type deal. Could you see that happening? Because I think it was Mercedes had heated seats where you could only unlock it by paying a monthly fee through the app.
What?
So the car came with heated seats, but you had to unlock it with a monthly fee through the app. Make that make sense somehow.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised
what do you think about that pay-to-win driving? How crazy would that be?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they added something like that. They're all about those microtransactions. They might even do something where you can only use this expressway or something if you're in a certain type of car, or if you pay some monthly fee or whatever. So, yeah.
We kind of have that. Do you guys have that where you're at? And maybe chat, too. But we have, I think California has it, right? The high occupancy, we call it HOV lane. High occupancy vehicles, so you have to have
I've seen that when I was driving to Florida. I saw that. I can't remember, I think maybe in Atlanta when I was driving to Florida, but we don't have it around here. However, we do have tows on our bridge there's no tow booth or anything. They just have a camera that snaps a picture of your license plate every time you drive over the bridge. You have to pay $8.
Oh, I know.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, I got that bill.
Makes me mad. Shout out to Ali Osmond's in the chat, says, hey bro, been watching you, I watched you over 2 years ago. Am I still interested with VeVe? Yes, we were just talking about VeVe a little bit. If you want, I can show you once again the newest footage of the VeVeverse, which was just released. We don't have access yet, but I do still live stream the drops on the weekends. Sometimes there's good drops. We had one that sold out the other day. It was a derivative of the noun. NFT program, or Nounish, whatever it's called. It did really well. It sold out. And we got Punisher coming up soon. The first appearance of Punisher a week from Saturday, and it's going to be this new style of drop that they just came up with called Evolvables. But here's some footage of the VeVe-verse, which we're all about to get access to hashtag soon. I know they've been saying that since you've been around 2 years ago, but this time they mean it for real. Stan says the rich will be on Mars while we're stuck on Earth with frosted flakes. I can see that happening. Elon Musk colonizes Mars and just makes it a place for the rich people to live. Peach Pass in Georgia, that's probably what it was. Yeah, when I was in Georgia, I saw the HOV lanes. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know you had to pay money for it. I thought you just had to have like more than one person in your car. They have like
yeah, well, I think actually it might vary by different states. I think we actually changed our, because now I think you could have more than one person, or you could have like a full hybrid or some shit, or EV or something that's like saving the environment.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I don't hate that.
I wonder if Elon, if we do ever do the Mars thing, I wonder if Elon's going to go back to those, I think it was 2005 applications when I put that in. Well, he did the original Mission to Mars application. And I put on there, I said I would go for free, but you have to let me bring weed. I said I have to be the first guy to get high in space. That's my only, like, rule. Or else I'm not going. But I never heard back.
I wonder why.
If they hit me up today, I don't know. I mean, my girl probably wouldn't want me to say it, but I kind of want her to go with me. I think it would be sick. Do that shit together.
I think we should send Elon up in space. He's the one making all these rockets. He needs to test one out personally. Go up in space. You know, he's on some stuff anyway. So then we'll get a little bit of first guy on drugs in space.
That'd be funny. Look at Joe Rogan sent out a fucking tweet. Elon's tweet and sent out a video. Joe Rogan and Elon with a fucking joint lit, fucking taking off in a rocket from fucking Port
That would
Lucie.
be pretty awesome. I like that. Absolutely.
That'd be hilarious, dude.
What he says, they have HOV and pass lanes and ATL. I hate driving through there or flying. It's always too busy. Yeah, we always take, I don't remember which how, maybe 65, but we always go through Atlanta when we're headed to Florida or on the way back, and that's always the worst traffic. There was one time, like 10 years ago, when me and my wife took our kid down to Panama City Beach on the way back when we came through ATL. It must have been rush hour or something. I don't remember, whatever it was. It took us like 3 hours just to get like 15 miles from the beginning to the end of Atlanta. It was absolutely horrible. It's kind of amazing how many people live in that city. It's packed. But it's probably like that where you live too. I don't know. Now that you're on that island, Long Island, it's probably not as packed as it is downtown New York, right?
No, I mean, you know, there's certain areas more congested than others. But we don't have the density of population that they have, like Manhattan and even like the boroughs.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear that there was farmland on Long Island. That's kind of wild. And then we just had DesignerCon, of course, the DesignerCon event that they have every year. And the homie buddy of the channel, Kid Arcade, had a big party at his house, or maybe at his studio. And I haven't got to see a lot of footage yet. I don't know if anybody was filming it, but a lot of people say they had a good time. And I don't know. That's pretty exciting. That's the one thing I would have wanted to attend if I went to DesignerCon, the old Kid Arcade party. I know there was some karaoke singing. It's in Las Vegas, so you already know there's weed. It's legal there. And who knows what else. Seems like a good old time. We need to get Mo to a DesignerCon party one time.
No, I'm gonna try to infiltrate my way into the IRL community, man. Like, I've been watching, and I talked to some of these guys already, so I have a little bit of an in. But they just did a rat race scavenger hunt, basically from Austin, Texas, to Seattle, and it was like 4 teams, and they plan on expanding it. I think they're doing like an East Coast version, so I'm trying to get in. And they like to get small streamers to have a little bit of a following, so I think I kind of fit the bill.
Nice.
But it'd be cool. I just basically live stream 24/7, doing challenges, making fucking fool out of myself in public, you know, whatever, collecting points, you know, trying to make my way from point A to point B. But they were doing that for like a week, the past week, bro. It was some of the fucking funniest content, man.
Is that a TV show or is it on Twitch? What's that on?
Nah, they were doing it on Kick. Yeah, Ice Poseidon and those guys, they were doing it. It's like, it was like 15,000 prize for the winner. Oof. But they just did a Hunger Games that was 50K to the winner. And I think 2 weeks from now, they have a Survivor Games taking place on a remote island outside the Philippines.
Oh, wow. So they're going hard on it. I always wanted to be on Survivor.
Oh yeah, this shit's gonna be crazy. I actually inquired about doing it, but I didn't know it was in the Philippines.
Right.
I don't have a passport. I don't like to fly. I can't bring any vape pens or anything with me, so it would be me in a third world foreign country on a remote island, being tortured and having no nicotine or weed. Yeah, I wouldn't make it.
That would be rough.
Yeah, that would be a hard sell for me. But I told them if they do something here in the United States where I can keep my vape pen at all times, like they did in Texas,
Right.
you know, I'd be down. But that's what I'm trying to do, man. I'm really trying to get into that shit because these guys, they're always looking for like smaller streamers and like mid-size.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
And, you know, hey, you never know. If they do something where I got to pass through your neck of the woods, maybe hit you up. Like, yo, want to make some money?
I got they wouldn't send you this way. I doubt they would send you to Indiana. Then again, it is called the Crossroads of America. All roads lead through
Oh,
Indianapolis.
no, they would, bro. You just see the places they were sending these guys, bro.
Oh, yeah?
This shit was, oh, yeah, it was crazy, dude. And like I said, these guys are pretty funny, man. Like, they had a thing where, you know, they didn't want people doing it for free even if they lost. So you basically get paid. It's like KCIP is like you get paid for all your chat on Kick per minute.
Right.
And these guys were making $1,000 a day just on this KCIP.
Wow.
So even if they lost, they were making $1,000 a day plus subs. Plus they had like punishments where people donate like $250 to me and you, and then one of us can't talk for 3 hours and one of us is blindfolded. Bro, like the content that like one guy trying to like drag the other guy around but couldn't talk and get the attention of other people, dude, like it was so fucking good, bro. Like that's the shit I like watching. Like I watch like scripted TV and I'm like bored out of my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, absolutely. DLC said
I watch like this interaction in chat or like in public rather.
Right.
Where it's just like it's so good, man. It's so good.
Yeah, it's kind of like reality TV. Then he says if he was in that position, he'd be licking some toads or something, try to get a buzz.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, they had all sorts of crazy shit. Matter of fact, one of the guys almost got arrested. They got banned on Kick mid event.
I didn't know you could get banned on Kick.
It's hard, but they were doing 70 miles an hour throwing eggs at each other.
What?
Yeah. And then there was viewers that basically the one dude was like, "Hey, I'll give $1,000 to anybody that hits one of the dudes his competition with an egg." But he did say it can't be while they're driving. It's illegal, you know?
Right.
But the viewers were still chasing fucking other teams down, bro, with fucking moving vehicles, launching eggs. It was crazy, dude. Like, it got a little hot. And then they wanted to some gay bar, and the guy's blindfolded. The other guy can't talk, and the dude that is blindfolded is walking around, and one of the other scavenger things was like, "Hey, this is my jacket. I got it from the Salvation Army. It smells like cat piss." I didn't really want to buy it, but I got it in somewhere Bend, whatever, Oregon or some shit.
Right.
And he came up with this little script that he had to say to like 10 different people. And he winds up blindfolded at a gay bar. And he loses the guy that can see. He's recording around the corners, and now he's by himself. He has no idea what's going on, bro. It was wild, bro.
And it's all happening live, right?
It's all happening live,
That's
exactly.
dope.
So like not scripted. You know, you can tell that they kind of like plan some bits ahead of time. You know, like when the feed goes down, me and you'd be like, all right, well, listen, at some point I might just really be a dick to you today. Like, I'm not really pissed, but like, let's just sell it for content. You can tell they do that type of shit.
Oh, okay.
You know? But again, it's just like amping it up for content. It's for, you know, it's for fun.
It should. It sounds like it'd be fun to watch.
Well, if you think it's fun, when they do the Survivor event, they're always looking for streamers on Kick to cover the event. So I'm gonna do like I'm gonna do like a 24/7 network feed and have like all the different feeds from all the different streamers up in like NFL Red Zone.
Right.
I'm gonna do like Red Zone for the event. I'm gonna see if maybe they like hook me up and they're like, hey, go follow this guy or whatever. You know, he's doing good coverage, and then maybe it helps me get on the East Coast scavenger hunt.
Yeah, absolutely. If you get on that would be pretty big too. You get a lot of new subscribers. Get your people get your eyes on you, so could help you with your
popularity. It'd be funny to do React though. Like just sit around for a few hours and be like, all right, let's watch these two dummies do the challenge. And I'd be like, all right, you know what? I got Vault joining me for the next hour, or you know somebody coming on, and we just sit back and we react and we just fucking pause it. We talk shit, you know.
It'd be easy and fun to react to because it sounds like an interesting show anyway, especially the fact that it's all live. You never know what could happen.
And for $100 grand, like the Hunger Games for $50 grand, people were doing shit that I didn't think people would do even for $1 million. Like they were throwing people out of like those called like the deer sheds where they watch the deers from up top.
Deer blinds.
Yeah, like they were throwing people out of there. There was a Chinese group, three Chinese guys barricaded in there, and dudes were trying to tip the fucking thing over, bro. Like they didn't care, dude. It was warfare.
I don't know. If somebody gets hurt, then they have to stop doing it. They gotta be a little bit more careful, unless it was scripted.
No, they all signed waivers.
Oh, really?
Yep, they all signed waivers going in. Like legally, they were covered. Like, yo, you could die here.
Yeah, but still, if somebody like broke their neck or something during the show, that cannot be good.
I mean, like I said, this shit can happen in real reality
Anything
shows.
can happen.
Yeah.
Shout out to Fun
Yeah,
Under the
real
Sun.
reality
What's
shows,
up, Fun?
too. People died on Survivor. I think the Australian one last season had someone die like live on air.
What?
They just kept on going.
I
Yeah.
did not know that at all.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't the American one. It was either like the UK or the Australian one.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't hear about that.
Someone just drops dead, and they're like, "All right, just clean them off." It was almost like Squid Games. All right, just clean them off the set. Let's all right, finish the game.
Sheesh, that's crazy.
Like, bro.
Speaking
like,
of Squid Games, they're gonna have a season 2 pretty soon. I don't know when. I saw previews.
Wait,
I'm excited.
oh, I can't wait. And you know what? That's actually something when we have a few minutes. I know we're gonna wrap it up soon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we watching? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I started watching Tulsa King. I don't know if Chad or you have seen this show.
What's it called?
Tulsa King with Stallone.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
Bro, Tulsa King. Everyone kept on saying, Mo, I can't believe you don't watch it, yada yada. I'm like, all right. Okay, now I know why people were telling me. He's like an ex mob guy who gets out of jail 25 years. He gets like banished to fucking Oklahoma or Oregon or some shit. Tulsa, wherever the fuck that is.
Right.
And then he has to come up with money, so he walks into a weed store. This is all the pilot, by the way. He walks into the weed store. It's got the guy from Silicon Valley, the guy with the beard and the glasses and the long hair. And he's like, you make money? I'm going to protect you. You give me 20% every week. So he basically just shows up and extorts this dude, and now like that's how the show takes off. But yeah, it's called Tulsa King. He's an ex-mobster trying to make it in Tulsa. I think it's one of the coolest shows I've seen in fucking decades, man. It's really, really good.
Is it set in present day?
Yeah.
Oh, I was surprised that he'd be able to walk in and just be like, I'll protect you, give me 20% or something, and people are like, okay.
Well, because it's a small town, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Right.
not like, you wouldn't get away with that shit if he was in, like, New York City.
Right.
But because of, like, where they're at, you know what I'm saying? Like, even the guy's looking around, he's like, bro, protect me from who?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But then Stallone's just like, well, you must have to worry about me, you know? He's like, so where's the safe? And he just basically pays him, you know, money every week now. But then they become friends, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, okay.
It's a really, really cool storyline, man. I really love the show.
Nice.
Yeah, man, I'm watching that. I'm fucking trying to catch up on like Tombstone or not Tombstone, Yellowstone.
I heard Yellowstone
like
is really good.
1883.
Yeah. I've been watching
Like
lately.
shows like that.
I've been watching. I never get into those kind of scripted shows anymore. What I've been watching is this new. Well, I don't think it's very new, but it's called the Straight Line Challenge that people have been doing on YouTube, mostly in England, is where they'll try to go from one side of their island all the way to the other side, but only in a straight line. So whatever comes along the way, whether it's a fence you got to climb over, it's a river you got to swim through it, stuff like that. You got to go a straight line the entire way. And the other day I saw where somebody in America tried to do it, and it was a whole different thing because you can't go in people's yard without getting shot. So they have to
I don't know where you live exactly.
Yeah, they have to have like a 20-foot radius where they can go around people's property so they don't get shot. And every once in a while, they would have to like sneak on somebody's property and just run through it real quick. So it's kind of fun to watch. It's kind of like a reality type show. Abdullah says, "Are you planning on pre-ordering Sui Conso? What the heck is that? Sui Conso? Is that from Ronaldo? Sui? Never heard of Sui Conso. 1883 was good. Is that a movie or a show? 1883.
Not the show. I think that's the prequel to Yellowstone.
Oh, I see.
Sure. I don't normally like those scripted shows either nowadays. 90 Day Fiancé is like my favorite show just because of how unscripted and all unhinged it really is.
Right.
But yeah, man, I don't know. Something about these like old shows, and Kevin Costner's like the writer behind it. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's like really trying to portray, I think, like the American culture of like back in the day. That's why I think I kind of gravitated towards it. But it's good, man.
People
yeah,
say
I
it's
watch
really
too many
good.
scripted shows.
Abdullah is talking about Sui Play. It's similar to the Solana phone, but it's a console on the Sui blockchain. How have I never heard of any of this before?
Yeah, I never heard of that shit.
I mean,
Although Big A sent me a base phone, or was it Solana phone? I think it was a base phone.
right.
I should have bought one, man. It was $200, bro. I was
It's not
looking at
bad.
it, and I was like, "You got like a free node?" And he said we got the node unlocked and all this shit. He'll probably make millions off it because I didn't want to go with him on that one.
I know the people who bought the Solana phone got some valuable airdrops already.
Yeah, I think PFL is gonna come pre-installed on the Solana phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang, that's awesome. Fun Under the Sun says Narcos 1 and Narcos 2. I don't think I've seen those yet. I'm not sure if they're documentaries or movies or TV shows. I think it might be a TV show. I know I've heard of it before. At least one of the Narcos. But alright guys, it's about time to wrap it up for this Tuesday's Tales from the Crypto. We do this every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Me and MoKnowz. Shout out to all the homies in the chat. Thank you guys for hanging out with us and for participating.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Big shout out to Mo. You got anything planned for this week coming up, Mo?
Whew. Just racing, man. Racing and placing, trying to make that money. And we got breeding week next week. And yeah, off the grid, man. Trying to get back into some off the grid.
Yeah, I heard Off the Grid is now available on Xbox Series S. It was originally only on Series X. I'm waiting for it to where it's just on the regular Xbox One. Then I can play it on my regular TV. If not, I have to play it on my kid's PlayStation. So right now I'm just playing Call of Duty basically because I got it for free with my Xbox Game Pass. Pokey says, add me on Pokemon TCG. My ID is Pokey. I thought IDs were all numbers. I didn't know you could use your actual name. It's Pokey, not Pokey. All right. Yeah, I might have to add you on there. I think it was Poker. Somebody told me they would teach me how to play the Pokemon TCG game. I've been opening packs. I've got a few decent things.
You put money in that?
No.
Like, do you put actual dollars, or it's just
You
play
can.
and...
You definitely can, but I never have. I never put money into that or Marvel Snap. I just open up packs, and since I don't have to play the game, I just open up a couple packs every day and think that maybe either one day I'll learn how to play the game or one day, because they did say there'll be trading soon. These cards that I'm opening now will be like first series, and they might be valuable.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I should probably just log in every day and, again, get that sticky loop.
Exactly. Yep, and it's free, so why not? Shout out to Denny OC. Best show on Tuesdays. We still remain the best show according to Denny OC. We'll see if we can keep that up. That's what I like to see. We'll be back next week for some more paranormal activity, some more politics, sports, crypto, and Web3 gaming. Everybody have a good week. Later, Mo. Later, chat.
Later, chat. See you next Tuesday. Peace.